Good Friday night, everybody. Welcome to Trailer Stadium in beautiful Rosenberg, Texas. This is VypeFortBend.com coverage of Senior Night, taking on the George Ranch Longhorns. The first time that Fulshear and George Ranch have ever met in varsity competition on the football field. I'm Roger Smith, glad to have you with us. And you can tell there's a lot of enthusiasm. They've introduced 38 senior football players, and now they're introducing dance team members and cheerleaders and everybody who is a senior who performs at football games to represent Fulshear High School. Glad to have you with us. I think I already ISD, and Fulshear maybe is in the midst of a historic season. They have started off 15 when this year's seniors were about 8 years old. So they won that state championship and a few years prior to the date at ISD in the great sport of football. And so will Fulshear be able to catch lightning in a bottle, the young play calling and setting a culture for the team? We shall see. But this game is very important to Fulshear. They just want to keep the train rolling. So we're going to bring you the Countdown to Kickoff show. We'll have interviews with both head coaches and Casey Vo having moved on to Morton Ranch. Iron Automotive, Love Houston Volleyball, LOVB.com, and the official banner provider of Vype Fort.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter...
Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing, they're gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Introducing Love Houston. Professional volleyball like you've never seen it before. You saw them win silver in Paris this summer. Now you can see them playing for the first time on American soil. Love Jordan Thompson and Micah Hancock. Get ready for first serve in January 2025. Visit LOVB.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my. And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at FirstTireandAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years.
Your team is going to have to do in order to get the win tonight. Fulshear is state ranked and everything, but I know rankings don't mean everything and don't mean anything to your guys. But what do you have to do successfully to come out on top tonight?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to be in the game with a really good opponent. You have to play with very, very few or no mistakes. And so, again, we've talked all week long about, again, the process we go through each week is, again, trying to limit mistakes. And so, again, we do still have a relatively young team, but, again, it's guys that we're now week 8 of the season is no longer a new team. And so we really got to do a great job limiting mistakes.
By the way, I'm enjoying visiting with you now. It's the first time that I've interviewed you as the head coach of the Longhorns. So how did you get here, Coach Casey Vogt?
Believe it or not, I was a college coach for 20 years. And then we took a move in the state of Georgia, and we became a high school coach in Georgia. Really liked it, but we had no ties, family ties in the state of Georgia. My wife is a Cuero native, so straight down 59. And we made a decision a year ago to move back home. And, Brian Randall hired me at Randall High School last year as his offensive line coach, and it was a really great opportunity to get in state and get close to home and close to family. And then this job opened up, the George Ranch job opened up. I guess it was February when we started talking about the interview.
One of the big reasons that you are here, it's such a small world. I'll bet if I dropped the name Diana Diaz on your wife, she might know whom she is because she's a teaching colleague of mine. And if your wife is anything like Diana Diaz, she is gold. And you have outkicked your coverage and made a great choice.
100%. My wife is awesome. She's the rock for our family. Again, I've got a son, Parker, who's out here playing ball right now. He's a 9th grader. And then I've got a young daughter, Stella, that's 10. But my wife is just absolutely unbelievable. Is passionate about what I do and supports me. Again, a lot of times people think the coaching part is just showing up on Friday nights, and there's so much more involved in coaching and preparing a team. We have 240 plus athletes in our football program, and trying to have that many kids, fed and coached and pushed and motivated to do the best they can is more than just a 9-to-5 job, obviously.
Being white, you rarely see that at a high school game, so I guess George Ranch is going to wear the dark jerseys, but be the visitors.
That's correct. Coach Canduti, their school wanted to do a whiteout for their school for their senior night. Is what their kids recognize their seniors that way. So we went with our blacks tonight.
All right, Coach Vogt, and it helps me as a broadcaster for them to be contrasting colors.
I look forward to those visits as well. So.
All right. That is Casey Vogt, head coach of the George Ranch Longhorns, who will be wearing their black jerseys tonight, I presume, although they might be maroon. Not really sure. All right, we're going to get going, kick this thing off at 7 o'clock, but first we'll talk with Nick Caduti, head coach of the Fulshear Chargers, ranked number 11 in the state, undefeated, and I'm not going to ask him about the things that I see on the little lower back plates that the players wear, but they have a few messages for George Ranch. All right, we'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com. This is Week 9 of the 11-week football season. It's hard to believe so much has gone by, but Fulshear is still undefeated, looking to stay that way. We'll be back.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at FirstTireAndAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireAndAuto.com.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit LOVV.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show. It is senior night for Fulshear, and the theme is Whiteout. Coach Nick Caduti, I've seen a lot of different senior night themes, and this is a little bit unusual. How'd you come up with it?
Penn State, right? Pennsylvania guy, Penn State whiteout. The whole introduction, the whole entrance will be actually them. So, plus it's just it's that whole team mentality of, there's nothing on it, just the purple stripe that they've earned through the year, and the name Fulshear. That's it. That's all there is.
I should have noticed the Penn State similarity, but that somehow escaped me. It's been a long day, actually. Okay, so Coach Caduti, I know that George Ranch and Fulshear have never played each other in a district game. Have they ever played each other in a varsity game?
No, not in football. In fact, this is the first time we really played each other. It's the first time as a district opponent we play each other. And, it's kind of those things. How do you handle this? How do you handle that diversity of, this is the former, head honcho, head top of the district, and we are now the one on the other side, and the first time we were playing them, just like we did at Foster 2 years ago. So it's kind of exciting. That's why you kind of bring the whole identity, the whole whiteout. Maybe you make this a thing.
I think it's also a good thing to tie it to Lamar Consolidated, because the George Ranch Longhorns very early in their school's history became state champions, and I know that's something that your team aspires to do. Is that something that ever comes up when you're talking to your team?
Yeah, and it happened so long ago that I think a lot of our kids don't really realize that they'd won a state title. But for the most part, yeah, it's, they were on top of the game. They were on top of the world. They were, these guys were, George Ranch was the pinnacle. And so I would like for our kids to be able to get to that point and that pinnacle. And, for us, it's it's not about, it's not about anything other than just being ourselves and maybe getting one of those state titles like George Ranch.
Well, I'd love to see it, and I intend to see it in person when it happens. And let's see, all of a sudden I was thinking about the next question, and then I started listening to your answer. Okay, so let me talk about Ryland Forks. I was looking at his passing numbers for the year. 125 point something quarterback rating, and he's only thrown 5 interceptions, and he threw 3 in the first game. He's been doing a great job protecting the football, doing nothing to get you beat, and he's got a pretty good touchdown pass total now. How would you grade his development?
Coming from a kid who, honestly, you're a sophomore, you play quarterback 4. In the first game, he plays Pearland and goes out and throws, 3 interceptions. That's kind of rough, right? It's, it's one of those situations where he had to overcome that pressure and the peer pressure that happens with, honestly, it's hard. You're a sophomore quarterback. People think that they can be, someone might be better, and you come out and, you prove them wrong, and you go through the whole thing, and you are what's the word I'm looking for? Resilient. Mm-hmm. And, for him to come out, I believe he might be number 1 in the district in passing right now, maybe number 2. But for a kid who never played quarterback, who's played receiver his whole life, I couldn't be more proud of a kid. Resilient. The seniors have taken to him, and he's right now he's the leader of this football team.
All right. Well, I hope he leads them a long, long way, Coach, and I'll follow.
Amen, brother. 16 games. You know the real.
All right. That is Nick Caduti, head coach of the Fulshear Chargers, trying to stay unbeaten and basically salt away their district championship as they take on George Ranch here at Traylor Stadium. Our coverage is brought to you tonight by Xfinity, home of the 10G Next Generation Network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. By First Tire and Automotive, with 4 great Fort Bend County locations, and they're all open Monday through Saturday. Every single first down tonight will be brought to you by First Tire and Automotive. By Love Houston. It is the new professional volleyball league sweeping the nation. They start in January. Houston has its own team, and its team will be headquartered right here in Fort Bend County. They'll play their home matches at the Fort Bend Epicenter. That is Love Houston, or you can go to LOVB, which stands for League One Volleyball.com, LOVB.com. And you can find out how you can get tickets, how to get involved. It's going to be great professional volleyball at the Fort Bend Epicenter. We welcome them as a new sponsor. And we're also brought to you by Leonetti Graphics, the official banner provider of VypeFortBend.com. Fulshear against George Ranch. It's Friday night. No school tomorrow. What a relief. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
That is the Fulshear Band under the direction of Andrew Lee, and we're about ready to get this one going. Roger Smith along with Patrick Kinnick. Welcome in, Patrick, and you've been asking me a few questions about Fulshear. We're going to see some things from Fulshear tonight that we haven't seen. Have you ever seen a team run the single wing?
Wow. Probably, maybe just on film, maybe. I like that. I do like their offensive approach. Definitely, I like their tight formations, and you're going to see something new tonight, I guess. So that's going to be kind of cool to watch.
You know, most of the time they run the straight T formation with three running backs behind quarterback Ryland Forks, and they're going to do some of that tonight, but Zane Smith is going to take about half the snaps at quarterback.
I'll be darned.
And there's also another change. Patrick Broadway, you know, he's the best running back that Fulshear has, but because he was ejected last week, he's not going to play in the first half of this game.
I didn't know that he was ejected last week. That's news to me.
It is senior night. 38 seniors who are on the football team and many more who are in other organizations.
You're not going to have
honored prior to the game.
I'm not sorry to interrupt you there, but you're not going to have a hard time describing the Fulshear uniforms tonight, Roger. The Fulshear. Oh, he's intent on seeing who won the toss, and I should have been more attentive to that. Sorry, Roger.
Tony Barcelona is our referee. He said that George Ranch won the toss, but they deferred, so Fulshear will get the football first at the west end. And yes, indeed, I'm very happy to see Fulshear wearing the white uniforms with the deep purple numbers. And George Ranch, while their primary color is maroon, their primary color of their uniforms tonight is black. Black pants, black jerseys with white numerals. What am I doing?
It's been a long day.
With white numbers outlined in maroon and the black helmets.
It's not going to be difficult for each team to figure out who's on their team.
In the last time we saw Fulshear, they had lightning bolts on either side of their helmet, like the Los Angeles Chargers, but tonight they have helmets that look like Penn State.
They look like Penn State, except it's purple instead of that dark blue color. And I think you mentioned it's whiteout. They have a whiteout tonight. They went so far to the whiteout that their sign that they ran through tonight was white. Nothing on it.
That's right.
I thought that was pretty clever.
Mike Brown and David Omenor back to receive the opening kickoff from Ian Grisby. Fired up fans at Fulshear for their team that comes into this game 8-0 and ranked number 11 in the state. And it is Mike Brown from the 2-yard line. Moves up the numbers on the far side, straight ahead, across the 30, still going and gets to the 35. You don't see a kickoff return where there's practically no change in direction very often.
Looked like Aiden Creech was in there on the tackle, among others, for George Ranch. But yeah, I was just going to comment, Roger. I like that. He just got the ball around the 5 or inside the 5. He just took it right up the seam on the right hash. I don't think he deviated a bit. And is this the formation you're referring to right now?
Well, this is not the formation, but it is Zane Smith at quarterback. The young man who has not had his hair cut since he was in 2nd grade is under center, and it's Demarius Froh behind him. The H-back is Creighton Dickey. 2 tight ends. Give to Froh over the right side. Breaks 1 tackle and squeezes out a 3-yard gain. Grabbing him by the ankles. Cade Marino brought him down. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I'll tell you what, one of the fellas, I think it's Mason Rank, He was in the backfield quick, and he almost made the tackle for loss, but Fro was able to get past him and avoid that loss.
If Hank Stram had been the coach, he would say there was too much leakage on that play.
You gotta love Hank Stram.
New line of scrimmage is the 38. Play clock is at 8. And now Zane Smith under center. Turns around, runs the option to the right, keeps it, turns it up, and fights forward and picks up 6 of the 7 yards that he needed. It'll be 3rd down and 1 as he advanced it to the 44-yard. Just brutal pressure. What Fulshear does to their opponents is bludgeon them.
Yes. Play in and play out.
Zane Smith turns around, says a little something to Demarius Fro. Crossed the 50, the 40, and rushed out of bounds. It'll be a 1st down. Cade Marino ran him out. That's a 1st down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
That was a pitch to the left there. He had a lead blocker, Aaron Houston. And you know who another blocker on that play was? Zane Smith.
Zane Smith. He likes to do that.
Yeah, he pitched it and he got out in front and he helped lead the way.
17-yard pickup to the 39-yard line of George Ranch, and now we're in a spread formation. Here's an inside handoff as the quarterback is the guy we're used to seeing, Rylan Forks, the sophomore, and he handed it off straight up the middle to Demarius Fro, and he picked up 3.
Timeout.
Somebody called a timeout.
Fulshear.
All right, since it's so early in the game, Patrick, let's just keep it right here. One of the things that Fulshear has going for them is they don't get their open date until week 11. They will play 10 straight weeks. This is the 9th straight week that they have played. And then they'll be off on the final week of the season where they can install new things to surprise playoff opponents.
Do you think that's an advantage, or could that be a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage when you consider Coach Caduti and his staff. They're very innovative, and they don't take that attitude of, well, we're just going to dance with who brung us. They like to do new, fresh stuff all the time so that the opponents are kept guessing.
Not a bad strategy. And it
all
works.
Right. So Zane Smith is still on the field, but he's not taking snaps. He's lined up between, or right behind, the tight end and the tackle on the left side, and there goes a run up the middle. Very short run. They handed it to, hold on a second, 21.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Bean, Caden Bean.
Yeah, new runner on that play, and disastrous play here. I would imagine Fulshear's going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here.
Now we might see Forks throw the football. He's a 67% passer for the year. His quarterback rating 126.5. Not bad at all. But he hands it off on 3rd and 5, and they only get 2 of the 5 that they needed. They handed it off inside. That was David Godley. I believe he's the younger brother of the great Davion Godley.
Dominic Solis was in there on the tackle. A couple of other guys were in there as well, but big number 99. And it's going to be a 4th down at about 4, and as expected, Fulshear will go for it.
They almost never punt. They've been so good this year that they usually don't need to, but even when other teams would punt, they go for it. Here goes Fro, stretching it out, gets a big hole inside the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, fighting for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. A 33-yard touchdown.
Huge hole there. Right side of that line really developed a nice alley for him. And Fulshear on top early here, and that's a classic Fulshear drive. They didn't throw the ball once, did they?
They certainly did not. And they're going to go for it, but they go with a formation that is heavy to the left. I think we've got 5 receivers all over on the left, and Forks throws it to Fro, hit in the backfield, gets away, keeps pushing, driving, but he comes up short. The two-point play does not work out. That was Andre Richardson with a great stonewall tackle right at the end. All right, 6-0, 8:22 to go in the first quarter. Fulshear on top of George Ranch.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Fulshear with an onside kick, and George Ranch, I believe, recovers it at their own 47-yard line. There was one guy who pounced on it, and it kind of slid out from under him like a bar of soap. But in the end, Baylor Smith made the recovery, and the Longhorns have good field position at their own 48.
So how much do opponents work on the onside kick when they're preparing for Fulshear? You almost have to put time in every day to prepare for that.
All right, Fulshear's defense has been incredible this year. Logan Hudson, 6.3 tackles per game and 9 tackles for loss on the season. Evan Ferns right behind, 6.1 tackles per game, and Caleb Augustus, 15 tackles for loss. The first play is a straight ahead handoff, and it doesn't get very much. It's Hayden Drinkard. Hayden and Desmond are the two Drinkard brothers, and there's going to be not just this season, but at least one more season with the Drinkards having a great impact on George Ranch football. It's just a 1-yard gain on that first play.
Well, you got to give him credit, though, to get the 1 yard. He was knocked in the backfield a couple of yards back, and he somehow fought for the 1 yard at least. And they're huddling and looking for the play off of the sideline.
George Ranch would certainly like to shorten this game.
Absolutely.
Fulshear really likes to pound you with the ground game. Nothing, finesse about what they do. Quick pass into the left flat, and the ball is knocked away, incomplete. For Fulshear, it was David Obenor who kind of read it like one of those the most basic of children's primers.
Yeah, it was
broke it up.
It was a little dangerous over there. It looked like a deflection might have gotten into the hands of the Fulshear defender, but it fell to the ground. 3rd and 9, not where they want to be, but let's see what they can come up with here.
Quarterback Hagen Lineberger in the spread formation, but we get flags, and that's because Hayden Drinkard to his right stepped forward, and Hayden is talking to Lineberger as if Lineberger messed up, but I'll tell you what, Hayden Drinkard was the only one that moved.
Yeah, and then about 8 fingers pointed toward the motion, and then 5 flags flew on that. That was pretty obvious there.
So now it's 3rd down and 14. Logan Hudson is the leading interceptor on this Fulshear team with 3. Lineberger calls for the snap, drops straight back. Here comes the rush, throws over the middle, and it's incompleted. Broken up. Brian Hooven is grooving because he tipped it away from the intended receiver. That was Avery Luna. Correction, Desmond Drinkard.
Yeah, he was looking for a flag, but there's no way there was a flag on that. That ball was overthrown a bit, and slight contact, but certainly no penalty on that.
All right, Mike Brown is back just inside his 20 to receive the punt. And the punt is away from Avery Luna. Mike Brown has it at the 20, up to numbers on the near side, gets across the 45 and hit hard at the 47. Nice open field tackle You want to see your guys hitting hard, and Nathan Mangus hit Brown hard, but I will say.
And he went to the left, and there was nobody there. I mean, it was just I think I could have jogged a few yards on that one. How much room there was.
It was a 36-yard punt with a 27-yard return.
Yeah, they had it set up very well. 47-yard line, second possession. They're in good shape here.
So Ryland Forks quarterbacking Fulshear. They're going from right to left, that is from west to east in this first quarter. They have it on the near hash at their own 47, and the single setback is Demarius Froh. Hand off to Froh, bounces out to the right, and he only gets a yard or two. George Ranch, their defensive front, reading it well and getting up last, and usually that
got him low. And I notice on their roster they have these categories. I'll give you categories here in a second after this play.
And I thought about you today when I looked at this roster and saw that they give the last name first, which is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Second down and 9. There goes Froh on the stretch play to the right. Gets outside the numbers, turns it up.
There's a penalty marker that came in late. Roger, I don't know if there was something that happened down there after that play. That play looked exactly like the play that they scored a touchdown on. Same type of action there to the right. Nice wide open hole, and he got a good yardage on it. Looks like the Fulshear, though, is backing up. Not sure. Let's hear if we can see what we got from Tony Barcelona here. That's the freshman.
Yeah, Mike Brown, he's got to make sure he doesn't do that again, or he'll miss the first half next week like Patrick Broadway is. We're getting 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen, but I don't know what happened, but it was after the play, so they got a good gain on it, and then they had to bring it back all the way to the 45.
Colton Marino. Wow, he's really deep in the backfield. 8.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And there is the run to the left. It is Mike Brown carrying inside the 40 to the 38. And tumbling out of there after making the tackle is Caleb Fontenot. So that's a pickup of 7. It's going to be second down and a short 3.
Yeah, they're plowing open some pretty good holes in there, and we're going to have to mention some of these linemen here. I'm going to try to get them for you.
You are a friend of the linemen.
Well, I am, because I was a back, and I appreciated all the work they did.
Those stalwart, silent sentinels. And a fake to Mike Brown, dropping back his Forks, throws it deep, and it is an incomplete pass, but a flag comes in. The intended receiver was Braden Kennedy, and a defender who was badly beaten just ran right through him, and that is a justified pass interference call.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it's one of those things when you're going that fast, you're just trying to get there, and you know, and when you're watching it from up here, you think if he would just turn around, he could intercept that ball. But that's easier said than done, because you're going, you know, you're full speed and you're beaten and all that kind of stuff. And that ball was definitely underthrown. I think the wind had a little bit to do with that, but boy, the receiver was wide open.
And the wind affected it, because it was blowing somewhat in Ryland Fork's face, and he heaved it, but he couldn't get it there.
I'll tell you what, I don't think it's quite as strong of a wind tonight as it was last night. Do you think it's a little less, perhaps?
A little bit less, certainly.
Seems just a little less. But it is first down for him at the 25-yard line.
Zane Smith is back under center, and Ryland Forks has gone to the bench. Caden Bean is the single setback, and they option it to the right. Zane Smith keeps it, gets inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! The hammer of 4 strikes again, and it's a touchdown from the 24, and Fulshear is up by a score of 12-0. You know, when they go for 2, sometimes miss it, sometimes make it. You really have to be careful about getting the score. So they're out there prepared to go for 2. Forks with 3 running backs behind him. Now they move out of that formation. Heavy to the left, and now Zane Smith moves under center. Takes the snap, throws it to Ryland Forks, who throws it back to Zane. He got it! Not quite the Philly special, but similar.
Yeah, great play.
That makes it 14-0. And Fulshear has already imposed its will on the George Ranch Longhorns. 5:24 to go in the first.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball. Get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Misha Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit lovb.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
All right, I know to keep the commercial break short right before Fulshear kicks off, because you just never know what's going to happen. Caleb Augustus moves to the right, and it's another onside kick, but covered beautifully by the George Ranch Longhorns. That was Jet Roberts, and he made a perfect play on that one. You know, you're the receiving team. It doesn't matter if it hasn't gone 10 yards. If you want to jump on it, you can.
Yep.
And I think he made a wise decision to not get any weird sideways bounces.
Sometimes I think it is better to do that. Just get up in there and get it on the hop you can get it on. And they got good field position. Last time they couldn't do anything with it. Let's see what they can do this time.
On the Longhorns' first possession, when they did throw the football, they threw it running plays where Lineberger could get it out of his hands very quickly. From the Fulshear 49. He gives the ball up the middle, and that play is buried. Poor Hayden Drinkard. He's just looking at a portrait of the front of the Fulshear front wall. You got Caleb Augustus, Evan Ferns, and a couple more of their friends. Sheldon Rice.
Sheldon Rice was in there as well. Yeah, they had a little meeting in the backfield there. And this is why you can do your onside kicks, because you got a defense that can just stonewall you. And here you are at second down and 13.
Sheldon Rice, 11 tackles for loss coming into this game, so I guess he has at least 12.
Well, or a half a tackle there, I'm not sure.
Second down and 13, empty backfield for Lineberger. 3 receivers on the near side. He looks in this direction, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to scramble. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and slides down at the Fulshear 45. And I believe Brian Hooven was a groovin' coming right after Lineberger, and he kind of tapped him on the side of the helmet as if to say, you were smart to slide because I was about to blow you up.
What'd you say? You say it's just some sort of a decision. Just what kind of a decision was that? A
business decision.
A good business decision there. He got a good gain, though. He picked up about 6 yards. It's 3rd and 7. Now we have a whistle and a timeout. Fulshear again.
Fulshear takes the timeout. We'll take it with him. VypeFortBend.com. 4:01 to go in the first. Chargers 14-0.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
By the way, Patrick, doesn't our referee Tony Barcelona sound like the proprietor of a Tony, that's a adjective, Tony, Italian restaurant?
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of charisma. All right, 3rd down and 7. After the Fulshear timeout, we'll see what George Ranch does. Lineberger fakes a handoff, hit as he throws, and it sails on him, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to Jaden Mays. He was well covered by Brian Hooven, and it's going to be 4th and 7. Okay, Patrick, if you are the coach of George Ranch, do you go for it here?
Well, it looks like they're going to. Caleb Augustus put the pressure on him. The receiver was open. Had he had just a split second more time, he might have been able to get the ball to him. Looks like they're going to go for it, Roger, from the 46.
Augustus leads the team in quarterback hurries. He now has 14 on the year. 4th and 7 now. Lineberger steps back. Will he punt it? Yes, he will, out of the quick kick formation, and he kicked it way too hard. It goes into the end zone on the fly, so he really didn't help his team that much. The touchback on the punt will bring it out to the 20.
Yeah, he wanted to get a little less on that. He got a little more foot in there than he would have liked, but what do? You just do the best you can, and that's the way that one worked out for him.
If he was playing golf, it's kind of like he had a little too much club.
A little too much club there, yeah. Yeah, instead of a 7-iron, he used a 5-iron.
Flew the green. By the way, I really like the playing surface here at Trailer. They've got every high school in Lamar Consolidated ISD with logos starting on the left. I guess they go in historical order. Lamar Consolidated, Terry, Foster, George Ranch, Fulshear, and now Randall.
I'll tell you another thing I like about this field, Roger, is they have I'll tell you in a second here.
Here's your single wing, Patrick.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Creighton Dickey and Zane Smith. Who will get the snap? It is Zane Smith running left behind Dickey. Gets outside the numbers. Stiff arms a man near the sideline. Gets to the 26. The man he stiff armed was Christian Lee. That's a pickup of 6, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know what I like about that is it's just a simple play. It's just snap it and run. Some of those old-time plays can still work. But anyway, I was telling you about what I like too is the different shades. Every 5 yards, you have a dark green, light green, dark green, light green, and at the midfield they have 10 yards of it. But it makes it just a little easier perhaps to spot where we are on the field.
And after this play, I'm going to tell you another thing Coach Caduti shared with me about this single wing. This snap goes to Zane Smith again, but a flag comes in, and it was a flag prior to the play as a false start.
Yep.
So he said neither Creighton Dickey nor Zane Smith is right behind the center.
Right.
So you're not having the center angle his snap. He's not doing that.
Yeah.
But I broke the rule that Okay. I'm sorry. I said to Patrick, and then I was a hypocrite. I said, let's be quiet when the referee gives the penalty, and that was Tony Barcelona saying false start. But at the snap, they are moving,
right,
and they move to where the ball goes, which is basically right between the two men. Zane Smith keeps it, turns it up the middle, outside the 40, keeps on going and dragged down just short of the 50. That would have been a touchdown if not for Cade Marino.
Oh, he just barely got a shoulder pad there, and he slowed him up, and then he was able to bring him down, but not till he picked up about, 29 yards or so?
And he also, he picked up a first down. You should think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Every first down tonight is brought to you by First Tire and Automotive. There goes Zane Smith again, and he's just pushing the pile, and the pile is pulling him all the way across the George Ranch 45. And there's a little pushing and shoving as everybody unpeels and gets up off the ground. By the way, Creighton Dickey must be saying, am I ever going to get to carry it?
Okay, let me just tell you, some of those linemen there, we got, let's see, Anderson Ling, number 74, doing a great job. Alongside him is Aaron Houston. Those guys are plowing some holes open. They're running the left every time here.
Zane Smith again up the middle, and he tumbles across the 35, and he crawls toward the 30. They'll spot him at the 32, but it's another first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
And Tino Diaz, also the center. The last 3 or 4 plays have gone right over those 3 fellas. It's been Diaz, Anderson Ling, and Aaron Houston. Alongside them is their, I guess he's a tight end, Braden Kennedy. He's on the left side too, so why not keep doing it? They haven't stopped them.
Fulshear can sometimes tell opponents, here's where we're running, and they still get productivity. There goes Creighton Dickey. He gets a carry outside the 20, and a guy takes him on and drags him down. Lots of penalty markers. The ball will be inside the 15 if the play stands.
There might be a hold. I'm not sure. Number 82 for Fulshear is holding his hands as if I didn't do anything wrong. Dominic Giametta.
It's, by the way, he goes by Trey.
Trey, okay, sorry about that. Dominic, I'll call you Trey from now on. Giametta.
Well, you got it right. It was Giametta.
Yeah, he had one of the Fulshear, I think it was number 23, if I had it right. He was Colton Marino. He had him wrapped up there. And then Dickey is saying, come on now, I finally get the ball, and there's a hole there. They got two tight ends in the line. It's just a...
First down and 20. Zane Smith gives it to Dickey, who runs to the right, throws the ball to Fro inside the 30, and keeps rumbling all the way down to just what he needed as the line to gain. I think that'll be a first down at the 21.
Well, I really love this kind of offense. Especially in this day and age, when all you see is the shotgun, and you see all this passing and receivers split out and all this. Their formation, Roger, it's all tight, and they still have the ability to get outside, and it's very refreshing. I used to run the double wing formation when I was coaching, and so this is nostalgic for me.
All right, back to the more conventional style with Ryland Forks under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Dickey. There he goes over the right hash marks, and he rumbles down inside the 10 to the 8. That'll be another first down run, and it's first and goal.
Roger, all due respect to their best runner, who's Patrick Broadway. He is an awesome runner. But man, it almost seems like they can put almost anybody back there. The way they're running, they all run so hard.
Dickey gets to be the single setback here again on this play. They give it to him, running right, leaps over a tackler near the 5 and goes into the end zone. It's a touchdown from 8 yards out, and Fulshear extends its lead to 20-0. And 20 seconds remain in the first quarter.
This has been, as the score indicates, it's been a dominating first quarter for Fulshear. Boy. And the right side of that line that time, last couple of plays, the right side of the line was doing their work. Chance Bryant and David Collum doing a great job over there on the right side, along with the tight end,
Zane Smith under center. He runs to the right, follows his lineman, including Chance Bryant, and into the end zone he goes. The two-pointer is good. And Chance Bryant, what a team player he is. Last year he was a defensive terror as a linebacker. But Coach Caduti said, how about you play on the offensive line? He said, whatever you need.
We need you over here. And I'll tell you what, Fulshear, as dominant as they are, it really begins in the trenches. Those linemen, they hold their blocks, they block downfield. You got something that you want to read, it looks like, or some kind of.
Yeah, but you can keep going.
No, that's fine. I just was really complimenting their line. They own the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, actually.
And it works so well. And you got Broadway, who, because of the 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties last week and the ejection, is not playing in the first half, but he averages 190 yards per game. He's got 1,520 for the year. Zane Smith averages 88.9. Demarius Fro 83.9. So that's the three-headed monster that averages 363 yards per game.
That is amazing, and Broadway he's just special. And he's itching to get in there right now, I'm sure. I wonder how much he'll play in the second half with the score the way it is.
And Broadway, Smith, and Fro, between the three of them, 13 100-yard games. Another onside kick, and there's a big scramble for the ball. There were Fulshear players surrounding it, but they couldn't touch it till it went 10 yards, and I believe George Ranch will have it.
I tell you, I'm impressed by the fact that George Ranch has been able to get on each of these onside kicks. That one was a pretty good one. As you said, there was like a little convoy of Fulshear players just running with the ball. Any kind of what do we got?
Illegal touching on the kicking team. They'll all be spotted after illegal touching the 48.
Well, Patrick, what you're describing is a situation where you can say, boys, you can look, but don't touch until it goes 10 yards, and they touched it before it went 10 yards.
They just got a little too close, I guess, but boy, and they have different ways of doing the onside kick. They don't do it the same way all the time, and as Roger has said before, they have different guys kicking, and you don't know who's going to kick it.
All right, Lineberger in a pistol formation with Hayden Drinkard behind him, and they hand it off to Hayden, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. I believe that's all he got. And let's see, there's an unfamiliar player to me, Patrick.
Oh boy, that's the last play of the quarter, by the way. You might want to.
Okay, I think it's Jamar Wilson. Jamar Wilson made the final tackle of the first quarter. It's been all Fulshear. They lead it 22-0. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January, featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson. Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at FirstTireAndAuto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. FirstTireAndAuto.com.
All right, we are one play into this second quarter, and Nick Perez caught a quick down and out pass on the near side from Lineberger. Ran out of bounds after he picked up 6 yards. It's 2nd down and 4. Or is it? It's 3rd and 4. There was one play on this series prior to the end of the first quarter.
Last play of the quarter, and here they are.
Lineberger gets it out of his hand quickly, throws it to the near sideline. It's a backwards pass, and I think it'll be good for a first down as Jaden Mays tightrope the sideline.
I think he stepped out to where they're marking him kind of toward the line of scrimmage. They must have stepped out earlier than we thought. It did look like he tightroped it, though, but apparently got a foot on the line.
Well, we don't have a replay to tell us whether he stayed in or not. So it will be 4th and 4, and it looks like they're going to go for it unless Lineberger steps backward. Takes the snap, drops back, pump short, throws down the near sideline, got a man open inside the 15, and gone for the touchdown.
What a play.
Jonathan Mtabwe.
He gave him a little pump fake. A pump fake on a shorter pass, and he beat the defender. He was open by a good 5 yards, and a great pass. And how about that? That's a good way to start the second quarter if you're George Ranch.
So the cornerback bit on it like don't know, like a big mouth bass at a piece of bacon on a big old hook.
There you go. Oh man, he sure did. And credit George Ranch there to get down the board here.
All right. Extra point kick. Josh Matula puts it up, and he's got it. That narrows the gap. It is now 22-7. Fulshear all over George Ranch. The Longhorns will kick off when we return.
Leonetti Graphics, the gold standard in Fort Bend County for screen printing, embroidery, banners, signs, t-shirts, and all kinds of specialty items. Whatever you need to advertise or show school spirit, team spirit, or company spirit, nobody does it better than Leonetti Graphics. We started creating our products in an apartment 23 years ago, and now our state-of-the-art facility in Stafford has everything to make your vision come true. Call your friends at Leonetti Graphics, 281-499-4959. Leonetti Graphics, the official banner provider for VypeFortBend.com.
We are the volleyball school with 3 locations, Katy, the Woodlands, and our newest in Richmond on West Belfort. We have the best developmental volleyball program in Fort Bend. We have the high-level training you need to get on the top club and school teams, and you'll have fun doing it. Our Richmond facility is at 18120 West Belfort. Visit thevolleyballschool.com and come train with us.
Grisby kicks off for George Ranch. Mike Brown takes it near the sideline, 17-yard line, back toward the middle. Now moves back to the sideline, gets to the 29 and wrestled out. And maybe one additional wrestling move, at least one more than the Chargers wanted, as Jake Yaki.
But it was gentle.
Yeah, it was gentle. He could have been really rough.
I think he was kind of losing his balance. But I wanted to just That's going to set him back to the 10-yard line. A penalty at the 20. I wanted to comment on the George Ranch formation on that last play. They had them really spread out. They had 3 receivers on both sides of the field, and it was really a spread formation. And maybe that's one of their strategies now, to try to spread them out a little bit.
If they can protect Lineberger long enough to pump short, then go long, they can make it work, and they did on that one. Now Forts under center with Caden Bean behind him. Fake to Bean, bootleg to the left, and Taruta in his end zone throws one up, and it falls incomplete near the sideline. And you got to be careful there. You don't want to put it up for grabs when you are throwing off your back foot in your own end zone.
He was lucky there. One of the defenders almost did a Willie Mays catch there, going after it. He threw that ball high and toward the sidelines. I think he was trying to get it to the sidelines, and he didn't quite get it that far. Anyway, he was lucky on the play.
2nd down and 10, the ball at the 11-yard line. That's where they start this drive after that penalty on the kick return. And Forks hands it off to Bean, the little fella moving to his right. And he slithers and pushes the pile best that he can. I mean, he looks like he weighs about 160. And he does get a nice gain, 6 yards, so it'll be a manageable 3rd down and 4.
Would they go for it here if they didn't get any yards?
That's a good question. I kind of doubt it, but you can't underestimate the personality and the chutzpah of Fulshear Charger Nation.
Let's see if they even have to worry about it.
Hubris, chutzpah. I'm not really good at my Yiddish, but you get the idea. I said it was 3rd and 4. It's more like 3rd and 5. Bean still the setback. Forks gives it to him. Bean dodges a tackler, gets out to the 22, and it's really close to what he needs for the 1st down. It's right at it. And you know what, Patrick? I'm going to answer your question, yes, if they have not made the 1st down, but now it is a moot point.
Right.
As I see the chains moving, Bean did the 1st down.
If it had been 3rd and a half a yard, they would have went, or 4th and a half a yard, they would have went for it. That's your take.
Yeah, if they're that close, they're going to go for it.
But I was referring to a 4th and 5.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been, you would be real surprised with that one.
Forks steps under center. Fakes to Bean, the bootleg to the left again. He's being pursued, throws short, gets it to Zane Smith, puts a move on a man, and he gets thrown down near the 21-yard line. I think Fulshear fans are wanting a horse collar tackle, but I don't think it fit the definition, and Caleb Fontenot made just a nice open field tackle.
It was a great tackle. He did grab him, but I think he grabbed him by the shoulder, and he had his arm wrapped around the shoulder, sort of, and as you said, it did not fit the definition.
It's 22-7. We've got 9:22 to go in the 1st half, and we're going to visit with Kevin Young Pittsburgh Pirates broadcaster at halftime. And we'll have some scores, not just from what's going on tonight and the implications thereof, but games last night and the implications thereof. By the way, we have more football tomorrow, 11 a.m. kickoff as Marshall takes on Iowa Colony. That'll be a good game. Really, it will be.
Good. We got a timeout for Fulshear. I think they've just used their third timeout of the half here.
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised at that, but let's just keep it right here. One thing I was going to point out, you got Ryland Forks. He's thrown 13 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions this year, but he threw 3 interceptions in the first game alone. So the way he's been playing since then is really impressive. Completion percentage, 67%.
As a sophomore.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. He's really grown in the job, and he's taking good care of the football because more important than anything else, you cannot afford to get your team beat. Yep. And so he's playing good ball security football. Ball security means job security. So if you're a quarterback and you're not throwing interceptions, you're going to be pretty well off.
I'll tell you what really helps him, and it would help any quarterback, is the powerful running game they have, and that really is a good thing to, then the passing game is a good, offset to the running game, and he's doing a great job with that, with those statistics.
All right, now they go to the spread formation. Forks with Bean to his right, Zane Smith and H-back on the right side of the formation. And as Forks taking the snap, throws one to Mike Brown, hit immediately, but he does not go down. Goes toward the sideline and turns it up toward the 32. Oh. And a late push, that's going to be a flag. Colton Marino, he should have known better. He had been running with Mike along the sideline, out of bounds for 5 or 6 yards with a hold of
the jersey.
Mike Brown's jersey, and just gave him one more shove, and it wasn't necessary.
Well, that's what unnecessary roughness is. It's unnecessary. It wasn't anything flagrant. But I'll tell you 2 things he did wrong. One, he did it. I mean, it was obvious. And number 2, he did it on the Fulshear sideline. I mean, it's like, you're just not going to get away with it there.
Come on, man. Yeah, if you're going to do that, do it over there on your side when you got a whole bunch of teammates over there.
You got the whole bench area seeing it and all the fans seeing it on this side. And he just kind of lost it. He lost his composure or something there, and it really was not he didn't even push him that hard. If you're going to do it, you got to, you should just do it, But it was just a little shove, but unnecessary. And I don't want to belabor the point, but cost his team 15 yards.
This is the first time these 2 teams are meeting in varsity football competition, yet it's already a rivalry just because of the neighborliness. All right, we got a jet sweep coming to the near side. It's going to be short yardage. They get it in the hands of Fred Hicks, the freshman wideout. First time that Fred has touched the ball here tonight. In fact, I think it's the first time Fred has touched the ball in games that we've broadcasted of the Fulshear Chargers, and it's just a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Good job by George Ranch to string that out and hold him to that 3-yard gain. But I don't think we haven't seen anything so far tonight that has really been able to slow down the Fulshear offense.
22-7, the Chargers lead it. They have it at the George Ranch 49 with a 2nd and 7. Hicks goes in motion. They give it to Bean on the jet sweep, and he jumps over a man and tumbles forward. He gets to the 44. The tackle on that one has to go to Cade Marino, who kind of submarined him.
Yeah.
But he was able to get a couple more yards of body lean.
And he also had a few words to say. They were doing a little John down there.
So he took the John Mayer approach. Say what you need to say.
That's right.
3rd down and 2 as he took it to the 44 of George Ranch.
I'm going to make a comment about the Fulshear offense again, and I will do that after this play.
They really are bunched up tight here, looking like they just want to hammer it forward. And there is Zane Smith who takes the snap, but flags come in early. I think we might have a false start.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Roger and I finally did it right. We both were quiet, and the guy gave us Mr. Barcelona gave us a nice announcement, and I hope you all heard it. I think Zane Smith was short on the first down. I guess the whistle had blown, and pretty good job by the George Ranch defense there. But I was going to say that the thing about Fulshear, their offense, they can have a big play, a big run. They can score that way, but they can also take the ball down the field on a 15-play drive.
If that's what they need to do, they'll do it. Smith takes the snap, same play, runs right, turns it up, gets the first down and more. He's inside the 30. Whoa! To beat, and he pulls him down by his hair, which is okay. That's not against the rules. Although they throw the flag, they're going to get a horse collar tackle on Mason Rank, but I don't think that's fair because it is okay to pull hair.
I have heard you say that before, and I agree with you. I was going to say before that, what a block by Creighton Dickey. He drove his man out of bounds. Here's the call.
There's no foul on the play for a face mask. First down, Fulshear.
So apparently they thought it was a face mask, and that wasn't even close to a face mask. It was a. What do you call that?
By the way, he left his microphone on, Mr. Barcelona did, as he went over and talked to one of the Fulshear coaches. He said he got him by his hair. And like I said,
it was clear. Yeah, Roger was all over that, and you're right. It's legal to do that if you want that hair coming out of there.
Now, why, Patrick, can I not be so incontrovertibly correct in an argument with my wife? There's never incontrovertible evidence.
My goodness.
When you have that, you think there is, but she doesn't think it's incontrovertible.
Okay, now I just don't want to get involved in this conversation. I'll let you.
It's a little slice of life.
As Coach Caduti is trying to get the final explanation on that, but Roger was all over that from the beginning. He tackled him from his hair.
Well, Zane's mom, in an interview that we did with her a couple of weeks ago, said that, he doesn't really feel it, but I'll bet he felt that one. Dropping back is Forks, throws for the end zone, and it is incomplete, intended for Braden Kennedy, but he was knocked down before the ball got there at the goal line. I think it's going to be pass interference against Cade Marino.
Yeah, he was there again. It's so easy to say, but had he turned, he probably would have got an interception on that play. But instead, he ran into the defender, or the offensive player.
Defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. First down.
And I stopped just in time, I think, but you heard the pass interference call there from Tony Barcelona. We got to have some kind of signal when one of us sees that.
Well, it was more than half the distance to the goal because they have it at the 6.
Yeah. This drive started at the 11-yard line.
Zane Smith and his long blonde hair are under center. He tosses it to the left. There goes Mike Brown trying to get to the edge. Looks for daylight and goes in untouched.
Who was the lead blocker on that again? Zane Smith. He just tattooed a guy at the goal line to give the runner the last bit of yardage for the first down, or touchdown, I should say. What a play.
And it wasn't just him. Anderson Ling, big number 74, was also out there, and I think he pushed down somebody, and then he knocked over the pylon.
Did he push him down?
He just pushed him out of the way.
It wasn't a block, it was a push down.
It made it 28-7, and now another 2-point try. Zane Smith under center. Everybody's over on the left except the interior lineman. And there is a toss to Demarius Froh, who's hit at the 4 and goes down. George Ranch sniffed that one out. Caleb Fontenot snuffed it out like a stogie on beach sand. 7:08 to go before the half.
Oh, boy.
And we'll be back with more VypeFortBend.com.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Okay, I ran the 60-second commercial before a Fulshear kickoff, and I got away with it.
There you go. That's
they haven't kicked yet.
So it can be done.
It can be done.
If we just get it off, if we get it out soon enough. You know,
if you're, I'm sorry, I'm trying to throw this in. Alejandro Quinones, if you were the kicker, what would you do? Get it? And it is a longer kick. It lands at the 22-yard line. George Ranch picks it up. That is Desmond Drinkard. He finds his way through a bunch of traffic and gets across the 35 to the 37. And did he lose the football?
Well, we
just got a push and shove fight.
We got a push and shove match going on, and I don't see any hankies on the field, so that's a good thing. They just said, get out of the way, guys. Let's go back to your areas, and no penalty markers on that one. But boy, he had a good run back, and then he just ran into you say this, he ran into a wall. It sure looked like he ran into a wall.
Well, the wall must have been in the person of Brody Washbrook of Fulshear, because he was the one his teammates were saying, just get back to the sideline.
Yeah.
But he was probably talking big because he made a big play.
Sure. Let's see if George Ranch can. Here's that formation again. They have 3 receivers on both sides. They're spreading them out.
But can they protect Lineberger? Spread formation snap, hands it off to Hayden Drinkard, goes over the right side, and he goes head over heels. What a beautiful low tackle coming in, Elijah Anderson. That was a prophecy of a tackle, don't you think?
Yes, it sure was. Sure was.
By the way, speaking of the Bible, number 17 for Fulshear, Asher Jacob. He's got 2 Old Testament names.
Yes, he does.
2nd down and 10. Dropping back is Lineberger. Here comes the rush. Throws off his back foot and knocked away by Logan Hudson. The pass was a little underthrown, intended for Hayden Drinkard. He was a little bit open on the Fulshear side of the 50, but Logan Hudson found the ball, swatted it away.
Roger, we had a good Samaritan ask if he could throw our garbage away, and he picked up our garbage for us.
Yes, I love that.
You don't see that very often. He just, out of the blue, and it was a little longer pass. He might have run for a touchdown on that play.
3rd down and 10. Lineberger throws to the left, and it's a free ball, and it belongs to Fulshear if they call it right. Yes, it is Fulshear football. It was an incomplete, sort of, that's the wrong word for it, but it was a backwards pass. It was not caught, and Eamon Eddie Alley, one of 38 seniors on this Fulshear team, was Johnny on the spot to recover the ball. The only thing I think he would like to do better, he would like to have scooped it and run it into the end zone. But it's at the 22-yard line, and that's the 2nd turnover of the night for these George Ranch Longhorns.
From a possible touchdown, just a little short on the pass, to a backward pass turnover, and just like that, it's from one extreme to the other. Unfortunately for the George Ranch Longhorns, you got a new quarterback in again. Or not a new one.
It's Ryland Forks, and I think he's going to throw it to Braden Kennedy over on the left side. He rolls to the left, throws toward Kennedy, and just off his hand, right inside the 10. And Forks was hit right after he threw. And how about that for sportsmanship,
That's
Patrick?
Dominic Solis.
It's Solis.
Solis, I'm sorry, Solis. He put the pressure on him, and I guess he followed through with the tackle, but he helped him up.
Yeah,
sportsmanship. Nothing wrong with that.
I would like to see more of that.
Yes. Kind of like a Reggie White. Did he used to give them scripture passages or something when he would sack the quarterbacks.
I wonder if any of the scriptures had the word smite in them. Forks rolling to the left on 2nd and 10. Throws it deep in the end zone. There's Kennedy. He got him. Touchdown, Braden Kennedy. I knew he was thinking, I got to get him an actual catch and not just a defensive pass interference call.
Well, the defender fell down too, and that helped. And did you see how Kennedy really took his time to catch that ball? Because it's hard to catch it when you're that open sometimes. And unfortunately, one of the linemen for Fulshear is down, but he's up already.
Yeah, not to worry. I'm sure
good.
It's just cramps.
Yeah, that's big number 75. One of those linemen that we mentioned earlier, Aaron Houston, who's one of those guys that are really doing a great job for Fulshear on the line.
So that ups the ante. It's now 34-7 with the extra point to come, and they're going to go for 2 again. It'll be Forks at quarterback with 3 running backs behind him. Creighton Dickey, Demarius Froh, and Zane Smith. And now they rearrange themselves.
I got a question for you. What if Fulshear was in a playoff game and they just tied the score?
They wouldn't do anything different. Smith, under center, runs to the right, practically untouched, and in he goes. The 2-pointer is good, makes it 36-7.
I want to just compliment Dickey again on a good block. Good job by him.
He is a weapon.
Yep.
We'll be back.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at firsttireandauto.com. First Tire Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Professional volleyball is coming to Houston this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson, Love Houston Volleyball is Houston's newest professional team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 9th. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Houston matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Alejandro Quinones bombs the kickoff deep, and it's going to be returned by Desmond Drinkard. He's in trouble inside the 20, but he keeps escaping, and he gets across the 20 to the 23. He made the most of a very tough situation, and now we have pushing and shoving as the players get up.
It's they're doing, actually, there's a little bit of something going on, but they're doing a decent job of getting out of there after the initial whatever, the words being spoken or whatever. Good job, though, by Drinkard. He's got some shifty feet. He is able to get around some of that traffic and got out to the 23 when it didn't look like he was going to get even past the 20. I was thinking about this game. It doesn't really seem like George Ranch has played that poorly. It's just that Fulshear is just so dominant. George Ranch has turned the ball over a couple of times, but it's not like they're, inept. They're just, you're getting steamrolled by a better team right now.
And as a parallel, tonight George Ranch is having a little bit more success than the Terry Rangers were last night against Randall, but there have been a lot of tackles for loss and plays where the Fulshear defensive front just penetrates, gets into the backfield, and so I think there's a lot of similarities between the defenses of Randall and Fulshear, and the beauty of it is,
yes,
we could go to Arlington and it is possible that both of them could be playing in state championship football games.
And not each other.
Not each other.
Which would be really cool.
Lineberger, empty backfield, throws it to the near side. He's got a completion near the sideline. A first down and more. A well-executed play they deliver to Nick Perez, and he turns it up and gets The first down, let's see. Hold on, Patrick. I want to make sure I'm accurate here.
That's first down.
It's a 10-yard gain.
Yep.
That's first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. New line of scrimmage is the 33. Lineberger sends a man in motion. That is Hayden Drinkard, who goes behind him, and he throws a backwards pass. He's hit immediately. Caleb Augustus. What a play. He's as fast as the guy they threw it to. That's part of the problem for George Ranch.
And then he's bigger.
He's bigger, and he sniffed it out. He knew exactly what was about to happen.
Well, they had a lot of guts throwing it behind the line of scrimmage again after they lost the ball on the last possession, and there was not much there that time. And
Augustus
not only was all over.
Yeah, it was not much there, but there was a -5 there.
Right, that's right.
So it's second down and 15. Similar formation. Lineberger drops back. Here comes the rush, and it engulfs him. Down he goes at the 19-yard line. That time they got Asher Jacob, the man with 2 Old Testament names.
Along with
that was a sack of biblical proportions.
Jamar Wilson in on that sack as well, as Asher Jacob and Jamar Wilson had a little quarterback sandwich on that play, and all of a sudden it's third and, what is it, about 23 yards to go?
Well, if I should have given equal billing between Jamar Wilson and Asher Jacob, it's because Asher Jacob flexed.
Right.
He got up and flexed, and so that drew my attention.
Jamar Wilson acted like he'd done it before.
Wow, third down and 23. Lineberger drops back, does get it out of his hand. It is tipped and incomplete. Logan Hudson, with visions of his 4th interception of the year dancing in his head, is just wishing he could have held on. And that would have been a pick six.
He could have gone backwards into the end zone. He had so much room over there. But the receiver was somewhat open behind him. I don't know if they'd have got the first down, but a good play, though, by the defender, Hudson, the linebacker.
All right, Mike Brown is ready to return the punt. And I confess, Patrick, I haven't been able to figure out who the punter is.
That ball got tipped, I think.
The ball was tipped in the backfield. I think the punter is Nathan Mangus, and partially blocked, and Fulshear leaves it alone. It comes to a stop at the 36 of George Ranch, a 15-yard punt. Not what they had in mind. I see you have a bag of ice. Patrick's headset is off, so he can't respond right now. Okay, he's coming back. Okay, Patrick, so I saw you take that bag of ice. Did you just put it somewhere farther away?
Well, it was kind of disrupting our area here, and I didn't realize it was doing that.
And it's not yours, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I brought a soft drink.
All right. Ryland Forks throws one to Hicks. He's got it inside the numbers. 20, 15, 10. One man knocks him out of bounds inside the 10. That's Cade Marino. And the freshman is showing out. Fred Hicks. That's a big gain. 30 yards to be exact. And do we have a flag? Oh, no, that's a shame.
It looks like they're going to bring some of that back. They have a little bit to talk about at halftime. They had a couple of penalties where they brought back a couple big plays. They've been been able to overcome those, but as a coach, you always got to have something to bark about, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You're not happy unless you're unhappy, that kind of thing. Although Coach Caduti, I wouldn't want him yelling at me, but he looks like he's very positive about most things. Forks, play action pass, near sideline, lifting it up for Hicks. He's pushed as the ball comes down, and it's interference against Colton Marino.
Well, I didn't see that interference.
I did see a push.
Are you sure that's not offensive?
Yes.
Because I didn't see the defender really do much there.
I'll bet you a Whataburger it's defensive pass interference.
I'm gonna go with the words of who's that announcer for basketball? He does a lot of that.
Dickie V?
No. Gosh, I can't.
Dead or alive?
He's alive. I really like him a lot. I can't think. Bill Raftery. He would say that's a nickel and dimer. That's a nickel and dimer.
And it might have been uncatchable, but it is first down, nevertheless, for Fulshear at the 25 of George Ranch. Forks under center, turns around and hands it off, and a run to the right. It is Caden Bean, gets near the sideline and wrestled out at the 15. Cade Marino makes another tackle. He's having to make a whole lot of those tonight.
Yeah, you don't want the guy in the back, the cornerbacks and safeties making all the tackles. And that's happening quite a bit here for George Ranch as we have made it underneath the 4-minute mark. It's already 36-7, and I don't know what's going to stop Fulshear from scoring again here before half.
By the way, I gave Bean credit for getting to the 15, but they marked him out at the 16, so it's 2nd down and 1.
Was it a good spot, Roger?
Yeah, I think so. I think they his foot must have slid out while the ball was at the, not as close. And now Forks on the play action pass is sacked. Beautiful sack. Dominic Solis. We've mentioned his name several times, and he was not fooled one bit by the bootleg, and down went Forks for a loss of, a loss of 10. So it's now 3rd and 11. They go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 11.
It looked like a play to the right, then a reverse to the left, but he wasn't buying any of it. Solis took him down for the 10-yard loss. Good play by him. He's got that pink shirt coming out of his jersey there.
A lot of pink in the stadium, especially over on the George Ranch side. All right, here we go. Forks out of the spread. Throws it quickly to Mike Brown, near side, gets around his man, inside the 10, fighting down to the 7, and he's got the first down. They mark him at the 8, 1st and goal from right there.
Well, it's interesting. Some of the best plays in football are the easiest design. He ran down the field about 8 yards, basically stopped and turned around. They threw it to him, and then he just outran the defender for extra yardage.
And he turned the shoulders quickly to the outside.
Yes.
So if a sportscaster is describing the highlights on the late night show, he'll just go zip, because it was that kind of move.
He is a quick guy, and he's only a freshman.
Just a freshman.
He has really got a future ahead of him.
Ryland Forks fakes to Bean, throws in the flat. Zane Smith can walk in from there. He could have hopped in on 1 foot from the 5-yard line. Nobody went with him. And there is another touchdown for Fulshear. And with 2:38 to go in the first half, it is 42-7 with the extra point try to come.
Nobody, either they lost track of Zane Smith or nobody was assigned to him, because he was wide open. And like you said, he could have, he could have bear crawled into the end zone. They're going for 2 as they have all night.
Zane Smith will be under center. Creighton Dickey is right behind him. Smith takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, going right, and easily gets into the end zone for the 2-point play that makes it 44-7. The route is on. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. By the way, stick around for halftime, at least halftime, okay? Because we got a good interview with Kevin Young, and we got some scores that you'll be interested in. We'll be right back.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Okay, why, you may ask, is Tony Barcelona talking to us already coming out of that commercial? Well, it's because Fulshear, they huddled up 2 or 3 yards away from the teed up football at the 40, and then they suddenly took a real hard step at the ball, and one of them stepped over the 40, which is offsides. So the penalty flag was thrown, and now they'll kick it from their 35. Alejandro Quinones might be the guy who's going to kick the ball. You never know with the Chargers. It is Quinones. He kicks it fairly deep. Comes down at the 12-yard line to Desmond Drinkard. Making moves, running up the numbers. He gets another productive kickoff return when he had a whole bunch of white jerseys bearing down on him. Takes it all the way to the 37. That's a 25-yard return.
He has a knack, a real good knack of making guys miss and weaving his way through. And he's able to get to the 37. Well, 36. We're going to mark it.
Yep. I do my best to visually spot the ball when the play ends. I don't wait for the officials to put it down because then our listeners have to wait too long. But I seem like they just, I'm not saying I'm a yard off, I'm saying they are.
All right, Roger, the percentage chance that Fulshear will hit 50 before halftime with 2:30 to play.
That's a good question. Let me think about that. I think they're going to get there. I think they will. But they have used all their timeouts, as you noted earlier.
Yes.
Lineberger hands off to Hayden Drinkard, pops through, nice run, gets 11. Quickly over the right side, that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Hayden Drinkard running like he's frustrated and angry as he was brought down by Iamin Eddie Ali. And George Ranch hurrying up from their 47. Hand off to Hayden Drinkard again. Finds daylight. Gets about 8 yards to the 45 of Fulshear before he's pulled down. George Ranch, by the way, has 3 timeouts, but Fulshear has used all of its timeouts.
So the idea of Fulshear scoring 50 here in the half, if George Ranch continues to run the ball as they are, that clock's going to run out.
For those eggheads who would give you percentages, the percentage is a lot lower than it was 2 plays ago.
That's right.
There's a toss sweep. Hayden Drinkard tosses it back deep in the backfield. This is going to be a productive play, I think. Cade Marino. No, it's not Cade Marino. Sorry, it's Jaden Mays. And he's run out of bounds at the Fulshear 36.
Yeah, boy,
he got 9.
He was going to get a loss on that play, and he made a really nice move to elude some of the pursuit, and then he got some daylight to the left side, and he got a first down.
Yeah, actually he got 10. I said he got 9, he got 10.
Remember you said that offensive lineman, what's his name, Chance Bryant?
Yep.
He's back. He's on the defensive side now.
Yeah, he's good at both. Lineberger bootlegs to the right. Runs away from the pressure. He's near the sideline. Now he reverses his field back toward the middle, and he's rocked at the 35. That was Rafe Taruda, who came up from his safety spot and brought him down after a gain of 1.
And the aforementioned Chance Bryant was in there as well. A minute to go. 2nd and 9. Let's see what they can do.
So Chance Bryant's been doing most of his reps on offense, and yet he has 13 quarterback hurries.
That's pretty impressive.
2nd down and 9 for George Ranch. 44 seconds to go in the first half of the clock ticking down. Lineberger drops the football, and it's recovered by Fulshear at their own 41-yard line. It looked like maybe, and by the way, Chance Bryant falls on the football. And Lineberger, it looks like maybe his center or another lineman might have stuck his foot back there, tripped him up. He started trying to lunge with the ball to get it in his running back's belly, and he dropped it, and Chance Bryant jumped on it right on cue. Maybe he somehow knew that we were talking about him up here.
And for all those betting people, the prospects have gone up now for a possible 50 points.
Well, Fulshear has never been shy about trying to get as many points as possible.
There's still 38 seconds. Roger had mentioned no timeouts left, but they can still use the sideline, and you never know. They got, 59 yards to go, but that hadn't stopped them before.
You never know when they've got Demarius Fro. And he is the single setback, fake to Fro, Forts to throw, deep down the field on the post pattern. It is caught! It is caught! Inside the 10 and down at the 6, and it's going to be a horse collar tackle. Braden Kennedy makes the catch, and Colton Marino throws him down. That'll draw a flag. The clock stops with 29 seconds left, and the percentage chance that Fulshear will get to 50 points before the half has gone up.
99% now.
Yeah, I don't know about 99. I'd put it in the 90s, though.
Yeah, just a couple of plays ago it was at about probably 5%, and now it's all the way up to 95. I don't know how they're going to stop them here.
I think we're still going to get the adjudication of the infraction. Okay, so Tony Barcelona never gave the details on the penalty, but that's okay. Maybe he will during this timeout.
He's walking like he's going to maybe say something here.
During the run, personal foul, horse collar, the defense, half to the goal, first down.
We've seen a tackle by the hair.
Right.
We've seen a horse collar tackle. We've seen some tackles that look like horse collar tackles, but were simply just grabbing the jersey.
Yep. We've seen quite a bit, and that was a nice long pass play. They were able to hit the receiver who was open, and I believe that was Kennedy again, right?
Yes, it was. They've been getting Braden Kennedy open deep.
Good pass.
Often.
Really good pass.
All right, Fro is the setback. Forks under center. And it's going to be a fade route to the far corner. It is Kennedy. He caught it! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
That was a great catch. He really showed patience there. The defender just kind of overran it slightly. Kennedy was patient, got those feet set, and made the catch. And there it is, 50.
50 points. There used to be a tire company that made the Magic 50. Long time ago. I think it was called White's Magic 50. Not so magic feeling for George Ranch, though.
No.
Under center, it is Zane Smith running right, turns it up the middle, and gets the 2-point play. It makes it 52-7 with 23 seconds to go in the half. And the Fulshear flag team running down the field. I think those are cheerleaders who maybe are subbing for the flag corps because the flag corps might be tired. They've run up and down the field so many times.
They've probably run close to a mile already.
By the way, join us tomorrow. Well, I say join us. Patrick is going to be busy with other things. He'll be on a mission from God. And we've got the Marshall Buffs taking on Iowa Colony.
Hall Stadium.
In Hall Stadium. So in District 9, Class 5A Division II, Randall, undefeated. Looks like there's no way that they won't be the outright district champions. And you want to be in second place if you're any of the other teams. So this game tomorrow between Marshall and Iowa Colony could make a huge difference in whether you get a favorable first round playoff opponent or someone, if you lose the game, you might end up taking on somebody that is more than a match for you.
Somebody you don't want to play.
What would you do if you are Alejandro Quinones?
We're going to find out.
Striding toward the football, he takes a circuitous route, and he kicks it. It's kind of lands inside the 30, and George Ranch simply falls on it with 21 seconds to go in the half. And another bit of shoving. Jonathan Chipman is involved for Fulshear, And Chipman is pointing at the scoreboard. And he has some teammates who say, just get back over the sideline. Come on. So you got Quinones restoring order along with Braden Kanak. It might be Kanak.
They seems like every time we have a kickoff, we've got a little bit of a skirmish now.
Oh, by the way, there's something that made me very, 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 very happy. I have a favorite former volleyball player. She's Ava Underwood. She played at Fulshear when she was a sophomore. They won a state championship. She plays for A&M, and they beat Texas this past week. And Texas is nationally ranked. Wasn't supposed to happen. The Aggies took them down in 5 sets. And I am just so, so very happy for Ava and her teammates. All right, 29-yard line, 21 seconds to go in the half. Lineberger, no, it's actually Caden Drinkard going to take the direct snap and run right. He's breaking tackles. He's across 50, still going, far sideline, and thrown out of bounds. And I think we're going to get a flag on, I'm not sure what it's for, but Brian Hooven threw him out of bounds at the Fulshear 44. There are 11 seconds left, and I have a feeling that they're going to be at the 29-yard line after this penalty.
Let's see what Tony Barcelona has to say on that one.
During the run, personal foul, baseline. On the defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, during the run, first down.
Well, it was over on the far side of the field, so we really couldn't see it all that well.
Yeah, hard to see. But the crowd over there and the sidelines definitely were commenting.
Timeout, George Ranch. That is their second timeout of the half. We'll be right back.
We are the volleyball school with 3 locations, Katy, the Woodlands, and our newest in Richmond on West Belfort. We have the best developmental volleyball program in Fort Bend. We have the high-level training you need to get on the top club and school teams, and you'll have fun doing it. Our Richmond facility is at 18120 West Belfort. Visit thevolleyballschool.com and come train with us.
The final regular season edition of Tuesday Night Volleyball, presented by the Volleyball School, is Fulshear against Foster. It is at Fulshear, and we'll have it for you at about 5:30 p.m. Fulshear looking to stay undefeated in their district matches, and wow, it is just very exciting thinking about the high quality in Region 3 of Class 6A. You got Fulshear, you got Pearland, you got Stratford, although Stratford will certainly be in the small school division. You got Ridge Point. That's some good stuff. All right, from the 29-yard line, 11 seconds to go. Hayden Drinkard going to take the direct snap. I don't know if he throws the football very well or not. But he sends a man in motion to the right, now to the left. Now throws it to the sideline, and the catch is made. And timeout is quickly called by George Ranch with 5 seconds to go as they delivered it to Christian Lee. And that is their final timeout, and they need to heave it to the end zone and hope for a catch and a touchdown or an interference call.
Yep, this should be the last play, barring a penalty. They don't have much time for anything else. No more timeouts, as you said. The bands are all poised and ready to do some performing here at halftime. I see some, not only the band, but the equipment and I guess what do you call the props? The props are getting ready.
A lot of props.
Yeah.
They don't look like cheap props either.
No. Look like sunflowers or something from the George Ranch side.
By the way, you know that song, Sunshine Go Away Today?
Yeah.
Who sang that?
Good question.
Yeah, it's
a good song.
I have a feeling it was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, it was a good song, though, yeah. Speaking of that, I have a band that I wanted you to give me your assessment of.
Okay, let's do it right now.
Okay. Three Dog Night.
Love them. Lots of unforgettable songs like Joy to the World. Yep. I love One is the Loneliest Number.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah.
Easy to Be Hard was a good song. Didn't get that much pub. I could go on. Mama told me not to come.
Oh, that's a great song.
2nd down and 4. And it's Lineberger back into the game. Here comes the pressure. Throws it near the sideline. Incomplete. And there was still 1 second left when that ball hit the ground. But I turned and looked at the scoreboard, and it went down to 0. And I think maybe George Ranch's coaches are going to say, the ball hit the ground and there was 1 second left, and they would be right.
What's that?
Patrick is being asked a question that we as the web radio crew have no idea what the answer would be.
That's okay.
Sometimes they think we're the PA announcers.
They should have had 1 second, but they just let it go. They let that last second go. It hung there at 1 second, and then somebody said, "Let's just click it."
You know what that reminded me of? Do you remember in 2009? Texas playing Nebraska in the Big 12 championship game, Colt McCoy's senior year.
I think I remember that.
And he threw a pass toward the sideline to try and stop the clock so his team could kick a field goal.
Yep.
And it looked like the clock had run out before the ball hit the white field turf of the sideline.
Right.
But they went back and looked at it, and they said there was 1/10 of a second left so that Texas could kick the game-winning field goal. And I remember, Frank, the Nebraska coach was Frank Solich.
Solich, yeah.
Oh, he was hot.
Yeah.
And I didn't blame him.
But it was the right call, wasn't it?
Or
not?
It was so close.
Yeah.
So very close.
The replay is good, but sometimes you just wonder how, maybe it's a little too much, It's amazing.
All right.
I know you want to get to the break and get to our halftime.
Yeah, Kevin Young. I made a new best friend when the Pittsburgh Pirates came to town and played the Astros back during the summer, and now Kevin Young joins us for halftime. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com after this from Love Houston, League One Volleyball.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball. Get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson, Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit LOVV.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
All right, it's halftime on VypeFortBend.com. We're glad to have you with us, and it's always good to have a guest who can kind of maybe help high school athletes out, thinking about their future. How bad do they want to play a game professionally and things like that. And our guest tonight is Kevin Young. He's the part of the Pittsburgh Pirates TV broadcasting team, and you were a Pittsburgh Pirate just about all of your major league career. Tell us, first of all, how's your body? I know guys that played 12 years like you did, sometimes you got the aches and pains.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You feel them a lot more the older you get, but I would say the body held up pretty good. And now I'm reaching a place where I'm almost 55 years old now. A couple partial knee replacements, but the golf game's still intact, so still able to have a nice quality of life.
Well, you don't look the age that you said, So let's talk about, first of all, nearly every game that you played was as a Pittsburgh Pirate in your entire major league career. And you had, I'm not going to call it a cup of coffee, it was kind of an urn of coffee with Kansas City, 55 games in 1996. And I guess whenever somebody makes it to Major League Baseball, you think, well, there's a good chance I could be moving around a lot. You didn't move around a lot.
Yeah, it was very unique for me. I made it to the big leagues. I got drafted in 1990 out of University of Southern Mississippi, and then, literally shortly after that, I was in the big leagues in the 92 season. So it was a very rapid, part of getting to the big leagues. I took my lumps at the big leagues, but I did not move around much at all. And so I've always looked at that, and I was always thankful that was a blessing. It really was, just to be in one organization, to get to know the people, the city, and unfortunately, it worked out for me. It's typically not the case, but I had a lot to do with why I'm actually doing what I do now. It's the relationships that you build over a long period of time and how you treat people. And one of my biggest things was, The game's always bigger than yourself, so you learn how to treat everything that comes to the games, whether it be, in our case, the umpires, the people that, clean up the stadium afterwards. It was always about making sure this is way bigger than myself.
Well, coincidentally, so you go back to Kansas City to play part of your career, and that's where you played high school. So tell us about your high school experience. Were you more than a baseball player, or did you stick just with baseball?
Yeah, it was really just baseball. And the true story, my freshman and sophomore year of my baseball team, I tried out for the baseball team and got cut both years, my freshman and sophomore year. So it wasn't until, my junior year that I actually made the team. And I always recall this story because it, even at the age at, 16 at the time, I remember driving up to the football field late at night, preparing for baseball tryouts, and this is in the middle of November, December when it's snow all over the ground, and I would climb over the football field stadium fence and run stadium stairs and do all that stuff just so I could make the team. But I always remember that because at that age, at 16 years old, I made a very crucial decision in my life, and I always try to share with teenagers that, at that time you can make a decision can really alter or change the rest of your life. And for me, it was the ability to fight to what you really wanted to do, which was, for me, make the baseball team. And I did, and obviously it turned into be a 12-year major league career on the big scope of things, so it was a good decision.
Kevin Young is part of the Pittsburgh Pirates broadcast team, and his partner Greg Brown is the guy who, when the Pirates win, he says, "Raise the Jolly Roger." So I just feel like he's talking to me somehow.
I'm not lifting you up, Roger. No, but it is quite enjoyable to have a partner like that. Greg and I have known each other literally for 30 years, believe it or not, because he was my AAA announcer at the time when I played for the Buffalo Bisons, which was the AAA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates at the time. And so when Greg actually ended up getting the job in Pittsburgh, that was shortly after that, I think in 1994. And by that time, I was already established in my rookie year in 1993. So we've been around each other. We know each other really well, and it's really nice to be able to have a job where you've had a relationship, with somebody for that amount of time. And so it's just another blessing that I've had throughout this game.
Well, I don't want to dwell on the high school experience too much, but I did want to ask you, did anyone ever try to persuade you to play football and or basketball in addition to the baseball? Because you're a big dude.
Yeah, my baseball was always the number one love. I got into that at 6 years old. My mom actually got me into baseball, and she's also the one that kept me away from football. And it was mostly because my dad was a 3-sport letterman, and he ended up his senior year playing football. His senior year, he ended up blowing out his knee. And he was a switch-hitting shortstop and, a guard on the basketball team and all that. So he was a super athlete, and so all that just went away instantly. He never ended up going to college because his knee was just tore up. And so for that reason, my mom was like, no. She did not allow me to play football. She probably would if I really wanted to desire, but she had her way of influencing me that that's not the right sport for me, so I never ever got into it.
And interestingly, Ryan Presley, relief pitcher for the Astros, he was playing quarterback on his high school football team, and he messed up his knee, but fortunately for him and everyone who loves him, he was able to rehab that knee, and he continued his baseball career, but that was it as far as football. Kevin Young, can you stick around with us just a few more minutes?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break on VypeFortBend.com. Good to have Kevin Young with us, and we're going to talk about perhaps the best rookie pitcher in all of baseball when we return.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at firsttireandauto.com. First Tire Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
All right, we're back with Kevin Young. He's a former baseball star, 12 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and now the Pittsburgh fans get to listen to him all the time on their TV broadcasts. So I wanted to ask you if you've heard of a certain kid. His name is Braylon Payne. He got drafted in the first round, number 17 overall, went to Milwaukee, and Braylon is kind of they say he's a five-tool player, super fast. But I know you prepare to do the broadcast that you do, and when they get to the majors, then you'll be talking about Braylon Payne, I hope.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing about him and seeing him at that point. I mean, that's always good to hear. You like to see young, talented kids make it to this point, so hopefully I get to see him soon.
You know, there's so many folks that will talk about education. You know, I've heard so many people that say that, all right, you sign a letter of intent to play whatever sport it is you like or that you're good at, then what you do is you go ahead and sign that letter of intent, and you better get that education. But Braylon Payne, like so many guys who worked hard enough to earn that opportunity, the Milwaukee Brewers offered him $3.4 million, and he signed it. So he has launched his professional baseball career. In the way I see it, if you don't know that you should accept a $3.4 million check, your education has failed you.
There's no doubt about it. And we can definitely go to school for a lot less. So we can use that money to actually pay for numerous degrees in overtime. But yes, that is a heck of an honor to be able to be considered like that. And I'm glad he made that decision. I know a lot of people, could go to school in different areas for growth. But when it comes to the money, you can do both. I mean, I like to see guys that continue their education. I'll be the first one to tell you, just watching players as they come through Major League Baseball or come through a minor league system, in baseball in particular, you can really tell. I've came up in player development a lot the last 10 years. And so you can tell the maturity that kids have that come out of college because they've been forced to deal with time management, learn how to manage a lot of things about life, adversity. The ones that go through high school have yet to do that, and you can see how that affects them as they go out on their own, living in smaller towns and the minor league towns that they live in, and so it makes a big difference. But once again, when you have money like that, it can create some opportunities that are you like to see that too.
Well, Kevin, speaking of money, it's been a long time since you were at Southern Mississippi. And there was no such thing as NIL at that time. And now you have college athletes, both men and women, in lots of different sports, making a pretty decent chunk of change for playing the sport that they play. Have you ever kind of thought about what it would have been like if you had been able to play at Southern Miss for money and it would have been okay with the NCAA?
You know what? I truly don't. But that's me specifically. I've always tried to live my life with no regrets. I don't live with hypotheticals at all. I always thank God for the blessings that were bestowed upon me at that moment. And that's just me. But, I will say that next generation that's coming now has an opportunity to be, just like we said before, it's an opportunity that you need guidance for. I mean, you've had people, make sure you have a mentor or somebody in your life, whether your parents or whoever, and preferably somebody that your parents, along with the professional, that's experienced that as well, because a lot of parents aren't used to being able to have that thrust upon them either. So there can be a lot of mismanagement and a thought process behind that. And so you want to continue to grow as an individual, as an athlete, and have that knowledge where you can actually make the right decisions if you're blessed to have that opportunity.
Kevin, something about baseball. I mean, I love to see anybody break into the professional ranks, and that's fantastic. But there's something about baseball. I can be watching a game. There's some young man out there, I've never even heard of him, but he goes in, gets that first at bat, or maybe he's making an appearance on the mound, and they cut to his family in the stands, and I get teary every time, because I think how many people had to make sacrifices,
so true.
how many people gave him advice along the way, like you were just talking about, and I mean, there's just nothing like seeing somebody make it to the show, and I wonder, I've always tried to nail down a number, and somebody told me a long time ago, although don't know if it's accurate, 1 out of 25 players who ever gets into professional baseball sees even one day in the majors. Do you think that's about a correct number?
Wow, it's probably less than that, to be quite honest. And I mean, it does not happen very often. A lot of guys that are like the top round, first round picks, you'll see those top 5 rounds usually kind of get an opportunity, but then that number drops off drastically after that. I mean, it drops tremendously. So once again, it's when you're young, you feel like you're in the best shape of your life. You always feel like you're the one that can break that mold, right? But it is a challenge. But that's why I always say it's not about all the noise around you. It's literally about being consistent and being the best version of yourself and pushing yourself on a daily basis. I mean, it's not about what you do when people are watching. Most importantly, it's about what you do when people aren't watching. And that's why I always revert back to being on those stadium stairs in the middle of the wintertime. Nobody else was out there, but that usually helps you put the right mindset in to accomplish some good goals.
Kevin, this is fun. Can we do one more segment?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, Kevin Young, and the check will be in the mail soon for spending so much time with us here on VypeFortBend.com.
Leanetti Graphics, the gold standard in Fort Bend County for screen printing, embroidery, banners, signs, t-shirts, and all kinds of specialty items. Whatever you need to advertise or show school spirit, team spirit, or company spirit, nobody does it better than Leanetti Graphics. We started creating our products in an apartment 23 years ago, and now our state-of-the-art facility in Stafford has everything to make your vision come true. Call your friends at Leanetti Graphics, 281-499-4959. Leanetti Graphics, the official banner provider for VypeFortBend.com.
We continue our visit with Kevin Young, former Pittsburgh Pirate and now a broadcaster for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I hear every ball player knows his career stats. So I just wanted to see, do you know your batting average in your 12 years?
It's career 258.
Exactly. And your OPS?
Ooh, don't know that one.
762.
Oh, that's not bad. I like that.
And one thing I really, really like is your fielding percentage, .998 over at first base.
Yeah, that one I do take a lot of pride at, because Willie Stargell was a big mentor for me, and I broke all his records in Pittsburgh at first base, so it always made me feel good.
Oh, speaking of Willie Stargell, this is not so much about him, but there is something I saw called a documentary, documentary about Doc Ellis and those great Pirates teams, including the 71 team. They beat the Orioles. That actually disappointed me. I was kind of rooting for the Orioles that year when I was 9. But so what do you know about that long ago Pirates team?
Amazing. I get to spend a lot of time with the guys that are now still with us. But the ones that have passed as well, I spend a lot of time with them. I do a lot of stuff with the alumni, whether it be fantasy camps or outings together, golf tournaments. And so over the years, I spent a ton load of time with guys, and we've lost a few over the years. Grant Jackson, Rennie Stennett, a lot of those guys have just recently passed over the last 2 or 3 years. And so they're tremendously missed. And obviously Willie Stargell was one, like I said, a big mentor for me. And so he's missed as well. I mean, one of the big ones was Bruce Keeson, who was a coach of mine in Kansas City, a pitching coach. And so it's just so many guys that from that era that I was able to have to consider to be a mentor and a friend.
All right. Another statistical thing. How many hits did you have?
I'm going to have to go with 1,008 maybe. That sound close?
Real close, 1,007.
All right, that was close. Oh, they must have took one away from me somewhere. I missed it.
I'm sure the official score screwed you over at one point. But how about this? Just a coincidence. Tony Dorsett from the University of Pittsburgh won the Heisman Trophy in 1976, was a rookie with the Cowboys in 77. And you know how many yards he got in his first season? 1,007, exactly the number of hits you had.
I will remember that because growing up, my mom grew up in San Antonio, so it forced me to be a Cowboys fan early on in life. So Dallas Cowboys, I can remember those teams, Roger Staubach, I can remember all those guys. So now I know that it'll stick with me how many yards he rushed for.
All right, so they call you the Little Hurt. I didn't realize that you had a nickname. That's a good one. I guess Frank Thomas is even bigger than you.
Yeah, he is. Frank was about 6'5", I'm about 6'3", but Frank was built he's a little bit bigger in a lot of different areas. But yeah, that was one that kind of stuck in that. My teammate Al Martin ended up taking it over, and then they just started calling me KY. But that was one that stuck for a little bit.
KY.
Yeah, just my initials. But trust me, I got a ton load of jokes from that and still do. But Roger, you're in reaching distance right now, so you better not joke with me.
Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. But I do, I'm always interested in how you got into broadcasting. You know, sometimes it's something that a player gets near the end of his career and he aspires to do it. You think it'll be a great idea. And sometimes someone just suggests it and said, you ought to try that. So how did you get into this broadcast booth?
I can tell you, Mark Garter, head of our media relations at the time, this is at the end of my career, really, and he just talked, you ever thought about getting involved in it? And I was like, not really. I just want to go home and be a dad, you know. 'Cause right then my son is about 6 years old, Caleb, and so I did venture back into it. You know, obviously about 10 years later, I got back into player development, and I did that for about 7 or 8 years. And then once that happened, I started transitioning a little bit into some TV, radio, and it was Mark Garter that really got me going in. And I just really appreciated that opportunity, but it mostly because the relationships you built. I mean, Pittsburgh is definitely a rich city with a lot of tradition and a lot of relationships throughout the course of it. And so it makes it real easy to be able to be around good people.
And how old is your boy now?
He's 27 now. Yeah, and then my daughter's 20. So yeah, they have now kind of gotten off the payroll a little bit, but not really. They never do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. By the way, my son is also 27. He and his wife are going to bring us our first grandkid in either December or January. And it sounds like being a dad is as big a blessing for you as it's been for me, and my wife and I we're very proud of our boys.
Yeah, you should be, Roger. You'll be a good granddad. Looking forward to hearing about that.
All right, Kevin Young, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
I have a new best friend. Well, maybe that's, he's going to forget about this, but thank you very much for being with us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
All right, third quarter coming soon. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
What a great Friday night it is across Texas. So let's tell you about a few things. First of all, the latest rankings from Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. Only Class 6A. That's all we're going to deal with as far as the rankings, because the game tonight here is a 6A game. Duncanville still ranked number 1. North Shore is ranked number 2, but North Shore is locked up in a battle with Atascocita, which is ranked number 4. And we'll update you on that game momentarily. Fulshear is ranked number 11, and they just keep waiting for someone in the rankings 1 through 10 to lose, and nobody's doing it. So Fulshear just keeps winning, but they're still at number 11 in the state. Katy 7-1 after winning their game last night over Katy Pato. They are at 13. Ridge Point is 14th, and Hightower is 18th. And next week on Halloween night, the biggest game in Fort Bend ISD of the season, no question about it. It'll be Ridge Point against Hightower. Both will be undefeated. Okay, so Patrick, did you follow all that so far?
I have followed it so far.
All out. Now let's
don't confuse me now.
Okay, now let's think about the district, the 6A district that includes the Katy schools. Last night, Katy beat Peyto 37-3. Last week, Katy beat Jordan 17-7. The only points that Katy gave up were on a pick six. It's not like their defense gave up any points against Jordan, and they only gave up 3 points last night against Peyto. So meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Katy Tigers still ruling that district, 19-6A. So now let's think about District 26A, which is the one that includes these Fulshear Chargers. The Foster Falcons last night beat Hastings 21-6. So Foster is going to end up with a respectable record, I think, at the end of the season. And good for them for the improvements that they have made. Hightower won its game over Austin 43-14, and they remain undefeated for district and the entire regular season. Okay, so for right now, let's stick with Class 6A. In District 26A, Strake Jesuit leads Taylor, A-Leaf Taylor tonight, 23-19. That game is in the third quarter. And that's really all that is relevant in the district that includes Fulshear. Now let's move on to the district that includes teams that Fort Bend ISD will play in the first round. Pearland is getting spanked 27-7. Pearland getting spanked by Shadow Creek, and that game has moved to the fourth quarter. Pearland, the team that Fulshear beat in week 1. That was their first ever win in their first ever game in Class 6A competition. All right, and now we go to District 21 6A, which includes the Fort Bend ISD schools. And Patrick, I know you're going to cringe when you hear this. Ridge Point taking on Clements.
Oh, okay.
63-0 at the half. I'm glad we didn't pick that game. That's why we're here.
Well,
I had a feeling that was going to go south really fast. All right. Elkins is leading Dulles 31-0. That game is in the third period, and Elkins is looking like they're in a pretty good position to get into the playoffs. They'll probably go down to the final week, and it might be either them or Austin. One or the other will get into the playoffs. Now, the game really, I have to confess, Patrick, Trailer Stadium, where we are usually the high school, the center of the high school football universe, but not tonight.
No.
That is the game between North Shore and Atascocita. It's gone to halftime, and Atascocita leads it 23-20. I wish I could be in two places at one time.
Boy.
It would be great to watch that one and broadcast this one as well. Okay, now we'll go into the smaller classifications. Let's think about Class 5A, Division II. Randall beat Terry here last night, 58-0. So Randall continues, ranked 6th in the state in their classification and undefeated. Now, Port Neches Groves is the team that is ranked number 1 in Class 5A Division II. But Patrick,
no,
Nederland is leading Port Neches Groves 17-7 in the third quarter.
Whoa. That
is quite a surprise, and if that score holds, then you will see Randall probably move up in the rankings.
What is Nederland's record?
Well, Nederland is,
they must
I'll be
strong.
honest with you, I don't know what it is.
They usually are very competitive.
Yes, they are. The Nederland Bulldogs, a very proud program. That's where Bum Phillips started long time ago. And the Nederland Bulldogs live up to their name very often.
Yes.
All right, we got another upset in the making. Barbers Hill is leading Galveston Ball, undefeated Galveston Ball. It is 17-16 at halftime of that ball game. And let's see. How about this? In Class 5A Division I, I don't have any dogs in the fight in Fort Bend County. There are no Class 5A Division I teams in Fort Bend County other than the Kempner Cougars, and this is not their year. They lost last night 59-6 to Angleton. But Aledo, Patrick, is down 28-21, the Aledo Bearcats. They almost never lose. I long for them to lose, and they are down 28-21 to Richland. That game is in the third quarter. And my favorite non-Houston area team in the state, well, there are two teams. One of them is Smithson Valley.
Yes, and then, let me guess, it's got to be Longview Pine Tree.
I'm so proud of
Pine
you.
Tree.
Yes, Longview Pine Tree. Only one loss on the season, and they lead Tyler Chapel Hill at halftime. Longview Pine Tree 13, Tyler Chapel Hill 7 at the half. And I think I've told you pretty much everything you need to know. Looking at my sheet here. Oh, yeah, I already, let's see. One other score I want to report. Waltrip leads Austin. Houston, Stephen F. Austin, 49, or they beat them last night, actually, 49-0. And I'm proud of my good friend Chris O'Neill, the head coach of the Waltrip Rams in his first year after coaching Tuloso Midway down in the Corpus Christi area and doing very well with them. I'm just so proud of Chris. He's really had a great year. Only one loss for the Waltrip Rams. By the way, Patrick, did you notice that the officials and Coach Caduti and also Coach Casey Vogt of George Ranch had a little conference at the 50-yard line? And I think Tony Barcelona, the referee, just was saying, okay, here's the way it's going to be in the second half.
Yeah.
They want it nice and clean.
Yep.
Don't get a bunch of penalties. Don't get your players disqualified for the first half next week. Let's just play football.
Yeah, let's not do something that costs your team some goofy things here for the next week. Let's see, will Fulshear kick an onside kick?
I doubt it. I have
52-7.
Yeah, 52-7. Protocol, just I think the right thing to do would be kick it normally.
Last night we had a similar game, and they did not start running the clock until after the third quarter. So I don't know if there's some sort of rule or how they do that, or do they agree as coaches, or what the rule is.
Yeah, I'm sure they both have to agree. All right, Quinones is going to kick off. They got some great athletes on the Fulshear kick coverage team. Look at these guys.
Yeah.
Caleb Augustus, Creighton Dickey, Rafe Taruta. Long kickoff, and it bounces inside the 5, does not go to the end zone. It is Desmond Drinkard trying to get out of there and returns it to the 16. Rolled over, might have gotten to the 17, and a flag comes in late on the kickoff return that begins this quarter. And Fulshear guys are pointing like they recovered a fumble or something.
You know what happened on that? I think I saw. Now we have.
Oh my
Somebody
goodness.
must have said something coming out of that pile, because Tony Barcelona threw a flag. I think one of the George Ranch players pulled the guy off the pile, and I think they call that a penalty. They don't like you to do that. And then after the scuffle, Tony Barcelona threw a flag, and it is as if somebody might have said something on the Fulshear side.
I love a good percussion section, but
Yes.
I hope they'll kind of stop playing so we can hear Mr. Barcelona. Here he comes.
Did he?
I think you heard it better than me. What did he say?
He said it was what I thought. The George Ranch player pulled the guy off the pile and kind of threw him off the pile. And then somebody, I believe he said number 33, inappropriate language to the referee is what I heard. Inappropriate language to the referee, which again, you could tell that Tony Barcelona had heard something, because there was no pushing and shoving. Guys were running back to their sidelines, and he heard something, and he put that penalty flag high in the air. He does not want to do that kind of stuff. Whatever,
All right.
Whatever it was.
Salty language.
Yes.
Blue language. First and 10 from the 17 for George Ranch. Pistol formation. Lineberger hands it off and gets away. And Fulshear recovers. Hayden Drinkard and Lineberger just didn't make the connection. And it looks like, I think, Eamon Eddie Alley, his second fumble recovery of the night, grabs it for Fulshear, and they have it on the 11.
Boy, just obviously not what you wanted. The question is, will Patrick Broadway get a carry? He's in the game.
You know, I think I see number 9.
Is it 9 or 8?
I can't tell. It's kind of wrinkled. He needs to iron his jersey.
I think it's number 8, but
okay,
I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think it's Broadway. Single setback behind Ryland Forks. First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Hand off to Broadway. Finding his way through the traffic, knocks his own teammate down and keeps going and into the end zone. Touchdown, Broadway, on the first offensive snap of the third quarter for the Chargers, who were already up 52-7. Now it's 58-7.
So within 21 seconds, they've got points. They kicked off, and within 21 seconds, they've scored. That's classic Fulshear. They're going to kick it, Roger.
Hey, how about this?
How about this?
I guess when you're up by 51, you kick it. Alejandro Quinones out of the hold of Ace Uthier. Kick is up. Kick is good.
Almost all the way across the track.
59-7. 11:39 to go in the third. This is VypeFortBend.com.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire and Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire and Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values: family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my! And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball, get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson, Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit lovb.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
All right, Patrick, since it's 59-7, I'm going to ask you a question in a minute or so, and it will be an unusual offbeat question. Quinones kicks it off. It is median depth. It comes down to the 17-yard line, returned by Baylor Smith. Moves toward the middle, cuts up the left hash marks, and gets a pretty decent return out to the 32, a 14-yard return. All right, so because we had a player use inappropriate language and get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct, I'm going to ask you, what golfer, professional golfer who is active today, would you least expect to utter an obscene or otherwise inappropriate word with a hot mic?
I don't really know.
I'm sorry, I talked over
yeah,
Mr. Barcelona. It's a blindside block.
Yeah.
My bad.
No,
Go ahead.
I don't know the golfers very well.
Well, I don't watch it nearly as much as I did during the Tiger Woods era. I'll admit that.
I can't even pull a name out right now. I can't even pull a name out.
Well, I'm thinking of Scotty Scheffler.
All right. He was had a hot mic and said some things he shouldn't have said.
No, I'm saying he never would. I'm saying
okay.
The question is, who do you think would be the least likely?
Not that it happened.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, okay.
He did get arrested once, but there was a terrible misunderstanding. All right, a run on the first play of this series. Hayden Drinkard goes to the right, just kind of sliding down the line of scrimmage, looking for a yard. Well, he didn't find a yard, but he did find 2 feet. and it'll be third. Is it third down?
I thought it was second.
I think it's second down and a long 9.
The the marker did move, and now they have a 2 there, so we see that.
Yeah.
So back to 3-dog night.
Okay, 3-dog night. By the way, Patrick brought this up right before halftime.
Right.
Hold that thought.
Yes.
Pistol formation. Lineberger claps his hands together. Stretch play coming to the near side. And this will get some yardage. It's Hayden Drinkard again. He carries the ball a lot for George Ranch, and he gains, I think, 3 there. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up. And
Carmelo,
it was Ferns on the tackle for Fulshear.
Along with Cunningham. Carmelo Cunningham was in there as well. 3-dog night. I heard the song Old Fashioned Love Song.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's a good song. Now let's go to the next play here. 3rd and 7.
But I have not yet named my favorite 3-dog night song.
Oh.
All right. 3rd down and 6. George Ranch trailing 59-7. And there's a roll to the right. And Lineberger throws short. Got a man. Got a first down. Delivered it to Nick Perez. And he knew where the stick was. And he ran out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That moves the sticks. 1st and 10. That'll be a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
So what is your favorite song?
Black and White.
That's a good one.
Oh, it's such a wonderful advance in American history and public education.
We're talking about, here we go.
Here is the run to the right. There goes Drinkard. Gets around Caleb Augustus, heads for the sideline, and goes out after a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was.
So for those who are not familiar, I won't sing it.
Thank you.
The ink is black. The page is white.
Yep. Yes.
Together, let's see.
They learn to read and write.
Together they learn to read and write. Well, I'm kind of getting them out of order.
We got the lines, but we're not quite.
But it's about desegregation.
Yeah, it was a good song, and it was in the 70s, for crying out loud.
Yes, and so joyful. It's just a joyful song. It's even more joyful to me than Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, Joy to the World.
Yeah.
So I love that 3-dog night song. It makes me smile every time I hear it. Lineberger throws in the flat, off his receiver's hands, and it falls incomplete.
You know why it was off his hands?
But I don't know.
Because number 2, Brian, is it Hooven?
Hooven. Rhymes with nothing that I know of. Go ahead. Grooven. Yeah, that's right.
He was bearing down. I think he heard his footsteps coming in there, and he turned his head at the last minute.
He heard the hoof beats of Hooven.
That's exactly
of the Chargers.
Right.
3rd down and 8. Pistol formation again. Lineberger hands it off to Drinkard, who drops it and has to just drop on it. Recovers the fumble at his own 24. That's a loss of
several
rats.
About let's just say 6.
6. Yeah, close enough.
Well, anyway, so 3-dog night. Where does that name come from? Is there such a thing?
Oh, yes.
Is there such a thing as a 3-dog night?
Yes.
Like, what does that mean?
I'm so glad you asked that question.
I want somebody to tell me.
But first, let's describe the punt.
Thank you.
High snap. And the punt is away, and Mike Brown fields it at his 43, heads to the left, outside the numbers across the 40, and goes to the safe haven of the sideline near the 35, and we get a little tussle, but no flag after the play was over. I got an answer for you, Patrick.
Okay.
3-dog night it's a term that is used by mushers in Alaska.
Okay, what is a musher?
Well, someone who delivers things on a big packed up sled with huskies or some other dog bred to pull a sled in the snow.
So they need 3 dogs this night.
Yeah, and when it's time to bed down for the night and camp, if it's really cold,
you get 3
that's
dogs.
when you get 3 dogs in your tent snuggling up to you.
To warm you up.
So it's when it's really cold, that's when it's a 3-dog night.
That's what it is, huh?
That's what it is.
I'll be darned.
From the 35-yard line, Ryland Forks still in there. Hands off to Broadway. Tough yardage going over the left side. 5-yard gain. Did it come out at the end?
No. Did. Well, it came out.
But it did come out, but the official says that Broadway was down on the tackle for these Longhorns is number 45, and there ain't no 45 on the roster. I thought maybe, Patrick, we could get through a week without a roster that was missing a jersey.
It happens. It happens every week, doesn't it? It's
it
just
seems
amazing.
to, and it never did when we were playing.
Well,
seriously,
how do you know?
I know it didn't happen. Everybody just had a jersey number, and it was on the roster. It was in the program that you bought on the way in.
You were playing. And
my parents showed me the program. Run into the right. Demarius Fro inside the sideline, still going. Inside the 10, cuts back. It's a touchdown. Demarius Fro on kind of an innocent-looking sweep to the right. Wait a minute, did he go out of bounds?
Oh, now
we got pushing and shoving and flags.
Oh boy, there's multiple flags here, and some of the coaches are running onto the field here from the George Ranch side of the field. Get these guys out of there. And now, I didn't see the scuffle. I was looking down the sidelines to see if...
Okay, there's an injured George Ranch player near the pylon, and I think Fro ran into him inside the 5 and pushed him down, and maybe he landed awkwardly, and he's injured his left leg.
I don't think that's where the penalty was, though. Do you think, Roger?
Well, it might have resulted, maybe Fro came back after scoring and he was saying something like, "I put a move on you."
Yeah.
And
which
now
might have been the catalyst to it all. Here's Tony Barcelona. Is he going to say something, or is he going to come talk to the Fulshear?
He's checking on the kid first, and he's also talking to head coach Casey Vogt. Aiden Creech was the injured player, and he's making his way to the sideline limping. But he's having to walk slowly.
But he's under his own power. That's
yes.
a good thing. Now, Tony Barcelona's talking to...
We may have an ejection,
side.
Patrick.
Let's see.
After the touchdown, there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. Everybody in the stadium has a UNS, which means number 33, number 11 for Fulshear has been disqualified. Number 4 for George Ranch has been disqualified. Every player has one UNS. Every coach has one UNS.
Okay, I guess a UNS is unsportsmanlike conduct.
So he gave it to every player on the field.
And every coach.
So everybody has one.
Everybody has one.
And so what he's saying is, that's enough of this, and if you do one more, you're out of here, even if you haven't really had one. I kind of like that. Let's just end the shenanigans now. And he was emphatic, though, wasn't he? Is he going to say something else here? Let's see. No, I don't think so. But I don't mind that at all. I think that's actually a good thing to do.
And there's one other thing I'm confused about, Patrick. He said 11 and 33 when he mentioned Fulshear. So I'm thinking, are both Creighton Dickey and also Mike Brown both tossed?
They are tossed. And there was a number for...
Number 4, Avery Luna.
Yeah, and then I don't know if he said anybody else for George Ranch, but he did say the number 4. So at least 3 of the players, as we just mentioned, are ejected. And everybody else is under the... whatever that is. What is that called?
Unsportsmanlike conduct. He called it a UNS.
Everybody's got one. Everybody.
And by the way, Alejandro Quinones kicked it perfectly right above the blue bell in the west end of Traylor Stadium. It's now 66-7. The route is, I said the route is on in the first half.
Well,
the route is really on now.
And that blue bell, it's not a bucket of ice cream.
That's right. I wish I had a really funny line to follow that with, but we'll take this break. 66-7. 7:50 to go in the third. My goodness.
It's fall, y'all. Head over to First Tire Automotive for a free tire pressure and tread depth check. There's a store right around the corner from you in the Sugar Land area. First Tire Automotive prioritizes their customers and employees above all else. Their core values, family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. Wherever your journey leads, reliable auto care is essential. A full synthetic oil change, just $60. Oh my. And more savings on the website. Book your appointment today at firsttireandauto.com. First Tire Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for over 26 years. Get to one of First Tire and Automotive 4's convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Houston in January 2025. Led by Houston's newest pro team, Love Houston Volleyball. Get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring Olympic medalists Micah Hancock and Jordan Thompson, Love Houston is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season. Visit lovb.com today. Volleyball is the next major league.
Ready for the kickoff from Alejandro Quinones, 66-7. Fulshear leading George Ranch. And the kick is a little more of a line drive, angled toward the left, and it goes out of bounds before it reaches the pylon. So let's see, Patrick, there was something I was going to
say,
oh, go ahead.
Before that, I sure hope they don't onside kick this one. I think that would have been a really bad thing if they would have done it there, 66-7. And I also think, I don't know what the rules are again, but I think now is the time to run the clock. Just start it right now. And Roger, what were you gonna? Did you have something?
Well, I was going to say that there's really no danger, I don't think, in Fulshear losing its next game.
Okay.
So you lose Mike Brown and Creighton Dickey for the next game.
First half, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes,
I mean,
I should have said that part.
But it's still significant.
Yeah. Now you want to have those guys together because you're putting together these new looks in the single wing and giving future opponents something that they have to look at and prepare for. But you got to realize, don't even get any unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in the playoffs, because you never know if losing one of your starters or one of your important players could result in a playoff loss.
Well,
it comes down to one play often in these playoffs.
Yeah, you have nothing. There's no tomorrow, put it that way. Can't afford it.
Lineberger hands it off, and they're using a new running back here. A 2-yard pickup over the right side as they gave it to Brandon Everett. Did you see a flag come in at the end?
I thought I saw something fly up there, but I don't think it was a flag.
Okay.
Mercifully, no flag on that play. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can ill afford to lose players in the playoffs. That kind of thing could be the difference between winning and losing, obviously.
And you know another thing?
What's the other thing?
You're going to go up against some playoff-tested teams that have a culture of playing in high-stakes postseason games.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to intimidate them by saying some filthy word.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
If it jeopardizes your chance of staying in the game and it doesn't affect the other team, just don't say it. 2nd down and 9. Lineberger rolling to the left. Heavy pressure. Throws, ball tipped. Caught by George Ranch. How about that?
That was a lucky play.
It was a lucky play because Believe Aguedo Fulshear got a hand on it, but he tipped it right to number 19, Nick Perez, who did a perfect toe tap and was inbounds at the 41.
What was that name last night? Do you remember that name last night that you had?
Yeah, I do remember saying a name, and I'm not exaggerating, fans. I think it had 10 syllables in it.
Well, at least.
And it was a hyphenated last name, and the first name was it Good Luck?
Yeah,
something like that.
Good Luck something, yeah.
Kid's name was Good Luck. And there is a big run. Number 35, Brandon Everett. You know, and this is no slam on Hayden Drinkard, but holes are kind of opening up. Now, granted, Fulshear has some second-teamers in there.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, Brandon Everett on 2 plays, I believe, has exceeded all the yardage that Hayden Drinkard got for the whole game.
Hayden Drinkard had a couple of nice plays there at the end of the first half. And as you said, Brandon Everett is playing at the right time of the game here. 5.5 to play here in the third quarter. They're taking a long time to get the play, and the play clock still has 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think George Ranch would just as soon take as much time off the clock in between the whistle that ends a play and the snap that begins the next one.
I agree with that.
Just keep it shortened. But we still have 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And there's Brandon Everett, and that time they clamped down on him.
Oh, boy.
Well, that was an ouchie. Let's see, that was 34.
Christian,
right?
Go ahead, Roger.
Oh, well, I got 34, Mohamed Jallo.
And number
and
67. Christian. Oh, boy.
Let me look at it.
Roger's taking time on this.
It's like looking at a 4-foot putt. Onyeroa. Onyeroa.
That would be more than a 4-foot putt there for me. That'd be like a
double breaker.
Double breaker, 45-footer.
All right, I apologize to Christian Onyeroa. Next time, I'll be ready.
They let the play clock get down to 4 here before the snap.
It was a 2-yard loss, and Lineberger throws a little stop route, quick comeback route, and about a gain of 7 yards. Nice extra effort as Desmond Drinkard wriggled away from the first would-be tackler. And with less than 4 minutes to go in this third quarter, he advances to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up for the George Ranch Longhorns. Patrick, were you kind of aware of state championships when George Ranch won the state title in 2015?
Yeah, I was, somewhat paying attention. I saw their team photo in the Papa John's store and all that kind of stuff. A lot of success.
And it was awesome in NRG Stadium in 2015. Katy won a state title, North Shore won a state title, and George Ranch. Running to the right is Everett, and he's got quick feet and runs through some tacklers and gets inside the 25 near the 23.
First down.
That'll be a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. 11-yard gain for Brandon Everett.
So
they played it in Houston, Patrick, and 3 of the 4 champions crowned in the 2 biggest classifications were Greater Houston teams.
Okay, so here's the question. How does it work? Is it sort of a rotation kind of thing?
No, it's always at AT&T.
Why was it in Houston that time?
Because the NFL told Jerry Jones, you can't be playing high school games on a Saturday night and turn around and have a Sunday game in AT&T.
Oh,
well, he was able to persuade them, we can do it, and now it's been at AT&T ever since. There's a run to the right. Number 34, who's not on the roster.
Well, I mean,
and he gets dropped for a loss of 1.
I feel like, being from Houston or the Houston area, I feel like we're being a bit slighted here.
Yes, we are.
I feel like it should be a rotation or something, because certainly San Antonio has a facility with the Alamo Dome, and of course they've got a great, it's a great place to go if you're going to be, visiting. Houston, we got a great facility. Dallas, obviously a great facility. But what do you do in Dallas that you can't do in Houston? In terms of if you're visiting or whatever.
Yeah, there's like, no question. You are preaching to the choir, my friend.
All right.
I mean, it should be AT&T
or even Austin.
Alamo Dome. Well, they don't have a roof, and if the weather is terrible, it just ruins everything.
That's not good.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not good.
Up the middle, 34 again. His name's not on the roster.
Just keep calling him.
Oh, wait
34.
a minute. Is that the same guy?
Or was it 35 that time? Was it our man?
Actually, that was 35. That was Brandon Everett.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But, I mean, hey.
But a lot of people will insist on that.
Insist on
that
what?
It be
in
climate-controlled comfort.
If it has to be, then it should be the rotation. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio.
Exactly.
Because all of them have all 3 great. Okay, so they've got the big screen. Okay, big deal. It's, you're telling me the screen in NRG is not big enough? I mean, you could still see it. I mean, it's just silly nonsense, and I don't like it. I suppose Jerry has a lot of money into it or something. I don't know.
Yes, he does, Patrick. Up the middle, Brandon Everett. I don't think he made any yardage on 3rd and 9, and now it'll be 4th and 9.
I think it's the last play of the third quarter.
And it is going to be the last play of the third quarter. We'll step aside and be back. It is a one-sided game, to say the least. 66-7, Fulshear leading George Ranch, and we shall return.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through October 21st, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 2 years with unlimited data when you add unlimited mobile. Plus, get Peacock Premium, a $7.99 monthly value included at no extra cost. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Gig Wi-Fi requires Xfinity Gateway. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $96 a month. Actual speeds vary.
All right, Patrick, so I realize we're probably just talking to ourselves at this point.
Well, somebody might.
There might be somebody listening.
Yeah, maybe a little delayed action, maybe. Or
well, I just want to let them know how difficult it is to make decisions about which playoff football games to broadcast. We basically have the capability to do one game at a time.
That makes sense.
And, but there's some outfits that they can do several games simultaneously, but we do one.
And hopefully we do it well.
So, you got Fulshear and Randall and Ridgepoint and Hightower, 4 teams from Fort Bend County that are all undefeated. Look like they're going places. Lineberger throws a rainbow to the end zone, but it was a little too much to the inside for his man to come back in and get it. He was trying to deliver to Desmond Drinker. That was 4th down.
By the way,
and the ball goes over.
The clock is running, Rogers, so that's a good thing.
Yes,
ever since referee Tony Barcelona made that announcement, really things have settled down really a whole lot. It's the whole tone of this end of the game here is just calmed down, which is good. Don't want to get anybody hurt out here, nobody ineligible for the next game. I wanted to ask you a question. We've been talking about Three Dog Night. What would be a band that you would put in the same category in terms of popularity to Three Dog Night?
Okay, have an idea. Here's a give. It is Caden Bean. I love the way that little fella runs.
Yep, he's got a lot of energy, tenacity.
And Cade Marino grabbed him and threw him back, but before he did, he picked up 6 to the 28 on that first down play.
So you already have one in mind?
Let me ask you this. You asked me about a group, and you wanted me to find a group to compare. May I use a single individual, an artist? It's got to be a group?
Well, give me an artist, but I would prefer a group.
Okay.
But an artist would be fine. I'll expand the horizon a little bit.
After 2nd down and 4, Ryland Fort still playing quarterback. Give to Bean. Hit near the line of scrimmage. Keeps fighting, pushing forward. He got 2 yards. That's it. Down at the 30. They never actually got him down.
No.
Okay. I think one of the most underappreciated hit-making singers was Johnny Rivers. I really like Johnny Rivers. And
name 3 of his songs.
All right. Rockin' Pneumonia, Poor Side of Town, Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, I would not put him in that category. I would not put him in the Three Dog Night category.
Okay.
In terms of popularity. That's just me. Here's a 3rd and 2.
Caden Bean running left. He needed 2. He got 1. Nice tackle. Kagan Mahone.
Yeah, he was wrapping him up.
He just kind of bulldogged him like a calf during the calf scramble at NRG in February.
He gave him a bear hug first and then rode him down. So what? Do you have a band? Do you have
a band? Give me a minute or two to think about that.
Johnny Rivers. Huh. I would put Bill Withers ahead of Johnny Rivers.
Well, I love his voice.
You know who Bill Withers is?
Oh, absolutely. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. 4th down and 1, and they're going for it from their own 31. Caden Bean, first down over the left side. Didn't get too much, but he got enough.
But his most popular song would have been Bill Withers.
Let me think.
Lean on
Use Me Up.
No, Lean On.
Okay. Well, Lean on Me, yes,
That's a
and
great
Use
song.
Me Up was a great song too.
Boy, he had some good songs. I'd put him ahead of Johnny Rivers, but that's a name that I hadn't thought about. Johnny Rivers much. I haven't thought about him.
Forks turns around and gives it off to not Bean. This is a different guy. This is David Godley, Davion's little bro.
Every single one of these runners for Fulshear, they run hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
they run like their next meal depends on it.
And I guess you would have to in the competition so heavy. They want to prove something, and I think that's good.
6-yard run by Godley. Well, see, whenever people ask me questions about musical groups or movies or this or that or TV shows, if I just have to think about it within 2 minutes or less, I know I'm overlooking something.
Oh, of course.
It's like naming best players,
Well, let's, for instance, here's
the
pitch.
There goes Godley, running to the right side, but he didn't get anything.
Good play over there.
He slid out of bounds, and that was 17. On the edge of 17, it was Jake Cunningham.
Nice tackle.
And I think when he's got his buds who come over to the house and they call his mother Mrs. C.
Mrs. C.
Like
yes.
Fonzie.
Arthur Fonzarelli, as she would have called him. What about, after this play, Roger?
Forks on 3rd down and 4, hands it off. There goes Godley. Lots of daylight. Gets out to the 50.
I think that was
Ran it for 10. Are you sure?
21. Yeah.
Okay, if it's 21, you're right.
Caden Bean.
Caden Bean.
Would this band be the sort of equivalent in popularity, success as the Three Dog Night? Crosby, Stills, and Nash, or where you think they're above them? I don't think they're above Three Dog Night personally.
Oh no, I don't think so either. I think there's some bands that are kind of a certain crowd will just tell you how great they are.
Right.
From the 50-yard line, another give to Bean over the left side, breaks one tackle near the line of scrimmage, picks up 6, and Ellison Collins drops him like a bad habit after a gain of 6.
Gave him a bear hug and dropped him to the ground. Under 6 to play. Are you saying that Crosby, Stills, and Nash was kind of that type of band where a certain crowd would have liked them?
Yeah.
They had a different sound, didn't
they? They definitely had a different sound, but I've heard that when you went to see them live, you realized why it took them so many thousands of hours in the studio to get the sound right, because when it was live, the harmonies didn't sound all that great like they did on the record.
That's interesting.
There goes Godley through heavy traffic on 2nd down and 4, right down the middle, and the tackle from Mohammed Abudawood.
Well done.
Abudawood. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of another band that would be.
And you know something else, not that Three Dog Night didn't ever try to kind of make a point about war at the time of the Vietnam War. There goes Godley. They grab his jersey and limit him to a gain of 1. So not that Three Dog Night never sang about the war. I think they might have had a couple of war protest songs, but Crosby, Stills, and Nash kind of had some songs where they were overtly talking, trying to make some kind of political statement. And certain crowds, that included critics would really elevate them and just say, just fawn over them.
What about a guy named who was also a part of that group for a time, Neil Young?
Yeah, the certain groups are just in love with Neil Young. I think he's okay, but I don't think he's as great as they do.
Well, I think he's I like him. He's got a certain style. I'm not in love with all of his music because some of those songs are just, they sound kind of the same or whatever. But Ohio is a good song. Old Man. What was that song about?
Heart of Gold.
Heart of Gold was a good song. He had some good songs. Of course, did you know that he was part of Buffalo Springfield?
Yeah, I did.
That?
Okay, so that was a 7-yard run on that previous play by Bean, and fumble picked up by the quarterback Ace Uthier, and he runs with it outside the numbers, inside the 15.
Boy.
And somewhere along the line, I didn't realize when they pulled Ryland Forks and replaced him with Ace Uthier.
Yeah, he dropped the ball and then picked it up and got a good gain on that.
And they've kept running the clock, so, we're less than 3.5 minutes away from being done here.
I know. We're going to have to start talking about our post-game strategy here.
You and me and Rosie Bega inside the mothership. And is there anybody out there? Is anybody out there?
Yeah.
That's a Def Leppard song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Is anybody there? Does anybody care? There goes Uthier following blockers, but the hole suddenly filled, and he gets thrown down after a gain of 1. And crawling out from the bottom of that little scrum is Frank Rodriguez. We'll have less than 2.5 minutes to go in this one-sided football game as Fulshear will improve to 9-0. They'll have 2 games left, and then they'll be off on week 11 to get ready for their first playoff game. There goes Uthier running left, gets inside the 5 rather, to the 4. And would they take a knee here? They have 66 points.
Well, it's actually, did they give them a first down on that? If it's a first down, you should take a knee. But it's third down. I would maybe quarterback sneak it, get a first down, and then knee it the rest of the way.
Now Uthier is letting the play clock go down. He's standing with hands on hips. All of his teammates are ready to plow right now. But the play clock is at 19. And the game clock is now ticked down to 1:39. There they go, running it to the left. Uthier, who's not a real big dude, gets thrown back.
And the last,
thrown back like an old man sending soup back in a deli. That was Jacob Thompson.
Yeah, he's run the ball about 4 times in a row. They just quarterback running it. And they're going to just let the clock run. I would hope they would just knee this. No need.
For all 2 of you who are still out there listening, join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Victory formation, by the way. Uthier takes a knee.
Thank you.
There will be 1 more snap, and he'll take a knee again. And let's see, 11 a.m. tomorrow, Marshall taking on Iowa Colony. This is a big game. You don't want to make your first-round playoff matchup any more unfavorable than it needs to be. So the Marshall Buffs taking on Iowa Colony from Hall Stadium at 11 a.m. tomorrow. 10:45 a.m. with the countdown to kickoff show. And here's the final snap of the game. Uthier takes the knee. And the teams will line up and walk across the field at the 50-yard line. So our final score, it's not final, Patrick, yet. It's got 20 more seconds. It's got a tick, tick, tick. 66-7 will be the final score. So for Patrick Kinnick, Rosie Bega inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, Suna Bertrand. No, they didn't get married because Merle's already married. Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat, Bob McKay, and everyone who's a part of VypeFortBend.com. Thank you for being with us. As always, we bring you 3 football games every week during the season, plus playoffs, and we got Tuesday night volleyball. All you Fulshear fan out there. The Fulshear girls taking on Foster Tuesday night at 5:30. Roger Smith saying goodbye and God bless from Trailer Stadium. 66-7 is the final, and the Fulshear band will play me off the stage. Patrick is already going to cut down banners. Good night, everybody.